everyone.
Welcome
To Hot
on
the
Presses.
This
Is
Megan.
and
This
is.
Sophie. Oops.
There can only be one. There can only be one.
I'm the hive mind. Anyway, welcome back.
Welcome to our little podcast here.
Our silly little music
Our
podcast.
funny little podcast.
Yeah.
Our just silly little boy.
This is our child.
This is a no.
No?
This is an adult. I say fuck on this podcast like a lot, actually.
That's true. I also say big fuck words.
I say like a lot of swear words and talk about balls.
Yeah.
So we can't be doing this.
Sometimes when people come to me and they're like, I want a podcast, and then I'm like, yeah, you can kind of say whatever you want. They're like, oh, okay, but like no cursing, right? I'm like, no, you can curse.
That's the thing, is that we like got it out on the first episode. We were like, I can say penis.
Yeah.
And then we've just been on the
now
warpath.
it's just been full-throated fucks.
First episode, teehee, I can say fuck. Our previous episode, we called out Paula Wallace directly for her squadron of drone bombers.
She's gonna drone strike us. Oh my god, I got a lot of support for the fluid cast from my friends, by the way.
Oh yeah, no, we have to do that.
We really do.
I was 100% sincere about
Me too.
that. There was no slack in my Mac about that one.
No slack in your Mac.
That's-
you get on me for talking about being tickled by shit,
It's
and
fucking,
then you fucking tickled.
It's Lil Ugly Mane.
That's another artist that I really need to get into.
Oh, you should listen to Mr. Thug Isolation. That
Yeah.
album is like actually.
I heard the new one was really good too.
I really liked it. It's very different. It's not
Yeah.
a rap album at all.
I know. My
Yeah.
friends were saying that that's a good one to start with if you're not
No.
like into rap.
Oh, if you're not into rap, but we're getting you in. You're into rap, right?
I'm into rap now.
Going into Mr. Thug Isolation, you definitely have to like acknowledge that it's going to be a little stupid, and then just kind
His
of.
name is Lil Ugly Mane. What do you
Okay, I'm gonna read you a
expect?
selection of lyrics from "Bitch, I'm Lugubrious,"
Well,
which
that's
is
an awesome
so good. He's so good. Bitch,
Does he have
I'm
any poop bars?
Probably somewhere. There's a prostate bar on this one.
Oh, that's awesome.
There's so much shit I could just quote.
Yeah.
It's difficult.
If you hear me clap at any given moment, it's because there's a fly in here that's driving me insane.
Actually, it's my butt cheeks.
Oh, yeah.
I actually spend the entire podcast, the whole length of the podcast twerking.
Yeah, it's the only way that she can really sit still enough to do it. She just has to get the energy out somehow.
Leave him dead in the river, unsolved case. Holla at ya bitch, she be knowing how my balls taste.
That is really good.
Iceberg Snoopy, Donatello purple Gucci going all grape. Uzi aiming low, shoot a playa in the prostate.
Those are good bars. I like these.
If you smell smoke, then you know I'm in the building. If you ain't seen your man, you can bet that I killed him. And then the hook is, bitch, I'm morose and lugubrious. I'ma let the Uzi spit turn his face into gooey shit. He's a fucking genius.
That's really funny. I like that quite a bit.
So I say that, but then his record, oh my fucking god, what's it called? I'm gonna shit my pants. It's literally one of my favorite albums of all time. I can't remember what it's called. Oblivion Access. I was like, Immunity, Oblivion.
Immunity by Claro.
No. I like that album, but no. Oblivion Access is like one of the pitch darkest rap albums I have ever heard in my entire life. There's a song on there about like dying, and then your consciousness just stays in your body and you're conscious forever. Ugh. As like the worms eat you.
Yeah.
It is a grim fucking album, and it's the same guy who made Bitch I'm Lugubrious.
That's what we call diversity.
He's awesome. He's fucking crazy, but he's awesome.
What's the new one called again?
Volcanic Bird Enemy and the Voiced Concern. And the cover is like what looks like Joe Exotic, like slumped over a bar, with the bartender is in a giant, like a person in a duck suit.
Yeah.
And behind him there's a cop who is a Muppet.
It's giving.
It is giving. Also, it should be noted that it is a painting, and the cover is not the painting. The cover is the painting hung up on a wall.
Yeah.
And you can see like a spark plug in the bottom left corner and just the title of the album above
I would
it.
kill to be commissioned to do that painting.
It's really good. It has the vibes of something he just like found.
Yeah.
But I think it's not, because the puppet is like, he's been the puppet in videos before.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know.
I remember my high school art teacher, his son makes music, shout out Roa Summit. And
that's a cool name.
They made like 2 singles and then dipped, and I really like the singles, and I'm bummed.
Sucks.
He also is a fucking amazing tattoo artist.
My high school guitar teacher was like a 16-year-old, because I was like 14.
Yeah.
And shout out Billy. You're not listening, but shout out if you are.
Shout out to the universe, Billy.
And he made music with his band of high schoolers called the Interstellar Elevators.
That's a good
name. And
name.
it was like jazz, funk, rap, rock.
Wow.
With good saxophones.
It's
still on Bandcamp somehow.
I love uninhibited teenage music.
It's great.
Just doing whatever the hell you want.
That's why like Delete Zeke is so good, because like you have no respect for the rules or tradition or anything. You're just doing whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah. Which is, I think, the way that the best evolution happens.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I was going to say, as far as playing cops in music videos, he had to play a cop for the music video for one of Roa Summit's songs, because they were making a statement about police violence. And he played the like cop who was like arresting a black guy.
Yeah.
And he just could never get over it. Like, he was like, I feel guilty for it to this day. I'm like, you weren't doing it.
It's
you
like
were playing
those
it.
actors who get flamed for playing Hitler in movies.
Yeah. I'm like, they didn't do the action. Oh my God, have you heard the Oni plays like Tiny Hitler hypothetical? I know you don't like Oni, but
no.
Have you heard that?
I don't like where this is going. I'll be real.
It's just it's a hypothetical about whether or not, if you had a tiny clone of Hitler, if you would torture it. Because he didn't do the action, but he is Hitler.
I would just squash him like a bug and throw him out my car window and be done with it.
There you go.
Yeah.
So there's your answer.
I don't feel a compulsion to torture him.
Yeah.
I would just literally, if he's that tiny, I would squish him between my fingers, huck him out the window of my car, and just be done with the whole thing and not think about it ever again.
Do you ever like just come up with hypotheticals like that to ask your friends and inspire like pointless conversation?
No.
I do that often.
Not
like in the vein of Tiny Hitler, just like conversation.
Things have come up. My friend Owen does that a lot.
Yeah.
Just like comes up with some insane, just absolutely out of the pale thing to just drop on us out of nowhere. And I can't think of any at the moment, but there have been some ones that I blinked and I was like, you need to take less Benadryl. My
brother gave me an insane one once that apparently was like inspired such intense conversation it like rended apart his friend group for a moment. Where the hypothetical is, if you have a restaurant in your stomach that consumes uses as ingredients uses ingredients all of the food that you eat, do they pay property tax to you because they're in your stomach, and do you get profit because they use the food you ate?
I would say yes on both accounts, because do we assume I consented to this occurring?
Yes.
Then yeah, I assume that would be the arrangement. I don't think I would agree to this under any other circumstances. And if they're only using the food that I eat, hypothetically, I'm paying for that.
Yeah.
So if I signed a contract with them or whatever, so they could establish business in my stomach, yes, I would hope they would reimburse me for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about...
I could write off all my eating as a tax write-off then. So I actually like this idea.
As a business owner.
If you're an aspiring restaurant restaurant owner in the Savannah area, do I got some real estate for you.
Some serious real estate.
My Gizzard.
King Gizzard. Not our first album for this week.
We are discussing that one.
We are.
Stay tuned.
In fact. I had one from back in the day that was like probably my best hypothetical. Which was, okay, I'm gonna give you a scene right now. As if I'm...
Set me up.
Yeah, I'm gonna be a playwright for a moment.
Billy Joel's Scenes from an Italian Restaurant is playing in my head right now.
Okay, so, set scene. It's a dark alley, at night.
Oh no.
You are alone.
That's not good.
Yes. A man, or any person, comes up to you.
Nondescript entity.
Yes, and aggressively grabs you.
Uh-oh.
Takes your arm.
Oh no.
And he says, I'm gonna mug you. Stay still.
Shit.
And you go, fuck. And you go, okay, I don't have anything to defend myself. I might as well. So you go along with it. He pulls out a knife. And you're like, wow.
Oh, Jesus.
He say, hey, stop it.
That's a big knife, man.
I'm consenting. I'm letting you mug me. And he goes, no, this is part of it. and he very delicately takes your arm and fillets off just the first couple layers of skin from your arm. Just a little bit of skin.
Okay.
And then he takes it. That's all he takes from you.
All right. I'm starting to think I should take less Benadryl because I'm feeling like you're not saying any of the things I'm hearing you say. Like they're just being generated in my head.
So then he has a piece of your skin, right? Just a nice fillet of skin. Filet-o skin.
He doesn't need that.
If he gets caught and they take you and you're in an identifying line and you say, that's the man that took my skin. When you go to court against him, do you sue him not only for assault, but for theft?
No.
Why not?
Well, if he stole my things, yes.
Is your skin not something that you made and own?
No, it's part of my body.
And do you not own your body?
I do, but it's assault if someone took my fucking arm. Like if someone chopped off my arm and took it,
yeah.
I also wouldn't sue them for theft.
But like, could you?
No, I'm going to say you probably couldn't. I took mock trial in high school, so this is not the best question to ask me.
But like, why not?
Because it's not your property, it's you.
But I just don't understand why I wouldn't be my own property, because I create the cells, you know?
Yes, sure. You are your own property. Everybody has the willingness, the ability to have autonomy over their own body, but
yeah.
Like your skin is not a good. You can't. It is good. You have great skin.
Thank you.
But your skin is not a good. It is not goods. It cannot be taken.
But the black market has a value for skin.
Yes, but
so your skin has monetary value to some people.
Hold on. Here's the conundrum.
Huh?
If some guy, let's introduce a third party into this situation.
Okay. You're hijacking my hypothetical.
Yes. So I'm going to maintain you cannot. If someone stole this like quadrilateral of my skin or whatever,
yeah.
It would not be theft. It would just be assault because this was a piece of my body that was taken off. That is what that is. That is the crime that he would be charged with.
Yeah.
If another guy stole my skin from that guy,
is that theft?
Our thief could sue him for theft.
Oh my God. So it really is that your skin only is valuable when it's no longer yours.
It becomes a possession once it is taken from me.
You.
But I cannot truly possess it unless I then hold the piece of skin in my hand after it is taken off of me. I don't own my skin as property until it is removed.
Do you think that because you can graft skin and it's like technically a part of being an organ donor, I think this is continue. Do you think that because your skin can be grafted and used for a benefit of somebody else, if someone shot you and then took your skin, no, I'm not going to say that you're dead. If you are an organ donor, does the Red Cross like protect your skin as an organ because they want it after you die?
What?
Like, because the Red Cross, like, as an organ donor, you know, they want your organs, right?
Yes.
And the skin is a helpful organ to have.
Yes.
Because you need specific types to, like, graft onto somebody, right?
I'm following.
that will adapt. So if your skin got taken from you on a larger scale than just the fillet, like just your skin got taken from you.
Okay.
Would the Red Cross want to protect you or like defend you in court so that you can have your skin back so that it's more valuable to them?
I think the Red Cross has better things to do.
I guess like in a non-pragmatic sense, I would just like to entertain this as like, well, like what's stopping me from saying I own my skin?
Well, you do own your skin, but it's not a possession. That's the core of my argument, is that yes, of course your skin is yours.
Yeah.
But it's not a possession of yours, so it cannot be stolen. Like,
I don't see how it's not a possession because it has monetary value.
It is an act of thievery. You could not charge them with thievery because it is just, you're just getting harmed. You might as well, like, if they stab you.
Yeah.
And then run away, and your blood is on their knife.
Yeah.
Can you charge them for theft of blood? No, that's stupid.
But like they didn't really harm you by cutting the skin off. It's only the first couple layers of skin. That doesn't make you bleed or anything.
I guess, but they're not like depriving you of monetary value by taking your skin.
What about if someone? This is going to be grosser.
Okay. Content warning.
Yeah,
gross.
content warning gross. Content warning cum. If someone...
That was a content warning for me, too. I don't know what the fuck you're about to say.
So imagine... So you're in an alleyway. Someone jerks you off.
Okay.
They steal your cum.
All right.
And then is that theft? Because you can sell... You can donate your semen.
That's just sexual assault.
But both. Can I sue them for both? Because my cum does have value.
Your cum does have value. You have beautiful cum.
Beautiful is not the first word that I ascribe to cum. Because that one has more direct monetary value.
Sure. I think you would have an easier time arguing this in court, but I still don't think it would be accepted. I think the judge would just give you a look.
Maybe the judge should mind his own business.
Maybe the judge should imagine how it would be feel to
well,
you in situations. Your cum stolen, Your Honor. What would you do?
Put yourself in my shoes.
Put yourself in my cock sleeve.
Yeah.
Put yourself in my fleshlight.
Put yourself in my foreskin.
Oh my god.
We bring out the worst in each other.
Put yourself. Okay. Anyway,
make that my Discord status.
Anyway, this just reminds me of this thing we were reading the other day. Me and my girlfriend and a bunch of my other friends. Mm-hmm. There's this newsletter that I subscribe to called "Food is Stupid." Shout out Dennis Lee of "Food is Stupid." Mm-hmm. He is a actual chef. He was like a Chicago pizza man for a really long time.
Okay.
Who runs this newsletter where he just does horrible things to food.
Mm-hmm.
Communion wafer nachos Belgrande.
Oh.
Vegan beef tartare. Gatorade bread, where he made bread, but he replaced all the water in the bread with Gatorade.
For listeners, the bread is blue.
It's violently blue.
Yeah.
Air fried dick tacos. Can you cook instant ramen in your dishwasher?
Oh my god.
Is running over a whole chicken with your car better than spatchcocking it?
Oh Jesus.
Deviled Jesus eggs. Smoisters.
What the fuck is a smoister?
S'mores with oysters in them. And this one is just called beef tingler 3 times, and I believe it is a cocktail that includes beef broth. From the 50s.
I made the most visceral face.
Yeah, it's
disgust.
horrible. He just does awful things to food.
Yeah.
And then he had a previous blog called The Pizzle where he was even more unhinged.
Mm-hmm.
And we read this really long April Fool's thing he did where he pretended to cook with his own jizz.
Okay.
And it was images of a white substance being poured onto cookies and tuna sashimi. It was really good. It was a really good article.
Yeah.
He never admitted to the bit either the whole time. He was just acting the entire time like it was penis juice, and he did not say...
You didn't just call it penis
I
juice.
did. He called it worse things in that. Sorry, anybody who tunes into this podcast to actually hear us talk about music.
Who would ever do that?
I don't fucking know.
You should know that there's got to be at least 20 minutes of shit posting before anything musical gets talked about.
The ratio of amount of time we talked about Lil Ugly Mane and the amount of time we talked about cum is probably about equal at this point.
Which is crazy.
Yeah. No, this is the ideal.
Yeah.
That's what Lil Ugly Mane would want.
Yeah. He would.
he would want us to be talking about Schween.
Schwaderade.
Ouch. Good night.
Okay.
Oh boy.
So with that,
with all that out of the way,
just had to get that out of my system.
We're retiring a segment.
We are retiring a segment.
We're getting a little experimental with it.
Yeah.
We are retiring the new to you segment because most times these past few weeks, our listening habits have been rather curtailed by the fact that we have a fucking podcast to do.
Yeah.
So we've just been listening to the podcast albums and haven't had much time to listen to other stuff.
I'm so busy. I'm just comfort albums.
Yeah, I have been very, very busy as of late as well. today we were both listening to albums. Oh, you're getting a little peek behind the mask here, but like right before we recorded, like you're sitting in the room to record.
Yeah, literally sitting next to each other, not speaking, and I'm wearing open backs, and so she's just like jamming to what I'm listening to because she can hear it.
So instead of trying to like scramble at the last second, because I didn't even have something last week, I just found a piece of news.
Yeah.
We have decided to do a new segment. Do we want to workshop a title for it right here, right now? New for you.
We could do hot out the oven.
Came off the presses a while ago, but it's still good, I guess.
Come on the presses.
Nope. Don't do that. That will actually make the records come out worse.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Encouraged to not do that.
We'll figure something out.
Yes.
But
we're recommending each other albums.
Yeah, we recommended each other an album that either is something that we've just been spinning a lot or something that we think the other person would really enjoy just based on previous knowledge.
Yes.
So I would like you to go first.
Okay.
Because I would like to hear your thoughts.
All right. So I listened to Protomartyr's Relatives in Descent.
Woohoo! I've been on a huge freaking Protomartyr kick for the last month and a half.
Protomartyr are a U.S. post-punk group.
Detroit based.
Detroit, baby. Motor City.
They have a lyric about Detroit on one of their other records where he says, "The spoils of the Pizza King. It's not going to save you, man."
Who's the Pizza King?
Little Caesar. Because they're from Detroit.
Oh, he's not a fucking king. He's a Caesar. It's right there in the name. I'm going to go beat up the guy from Protomartyr for factual inaccuracy in his rock and roll song.
He looks the least like a frontman that I've ever seen.
Having heard his voice for an extended period of time now, I'm now Googling this man. What does he look like?
He looks like a doughy white man.
A doughy white man. Is he the one in the center here? This guy?
Turn it towards me.
This guy with the sunglasses here?
No, he's the other guy with the sunglasses.
This dude?
Yes.
I see. He looks like a 30-year-old new father.
His name is Joe Casey.
I was going to guess he was of Irish descent.
Yeah, Joe Casey.
Yeah.
So he looks... Me and my brother joke all the time that he looks like he should not be a frontman for this band.
Yeah, he does look like he's kind of in the wrong band.
Yeah.
The images of him passionately clutching microphones in pink light are funny because he's just a guy.
He's literally just a dude.
It's just some guy.
He looks like he's a stock trader.
He is dressed in a suit.
And a polo shirt.
Yes, drinking a bud.
Yeah.
This is great.
And then he's singing about xenophobia and capitalism.
Him in the NPR Music Tiny Desk concert set is very good.
Yeah.
This is a man who has been transplanted through time from a place where rock bands look like accountants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just love him. He's very funny. And he definitely breaks the convention of what a weird old white man would sing about.
He is very funny.
Yeah.
I liked that about this record. I enjoyed this overall.
I'm glad.
I definitely like it better than Ultimate Success Today,
yeah.
which is an album I enjoy more in theory than in practice. I like Process by the Boys, but I just get kind of tired of it after a little while. Mm-hmm. We talked about this before, and I kind of disagree with the assertion that this is a viciously political album. It is political, but to call it Protomartyr's political album is very silly. It's very stream of consciousness. As is all their stuff, but it is very stream of consciousness.
Mm-hmm. My Children is just about his thoughts on having children.
Yeah.
It's not about society at large most of the time.
And sometimes it's not about society at large. It's just very localized stuff too. There's stuff about Detroit in here.
Yeah.
I will say that this record I don't think starts very strong. I don't like A Private Understanding at all.
Really?
The ending part with the fake outs into those slamming guitar walls, that was cool.
Yeah.
But I find the lyrics kind of annoying. And the open, he starts it. I was reading the Genius annotations for the song, but it was direct quotes from him about the way he starts the album off is all right, I'm putting on my persona. You can't blame me for anything I say from now on. And then he doesn't really say anything that crazy for the whole rest of the album.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think we might just be numbed from like Father John Misty talking about like incest when he puts on his persona.
Sure. But no, I mean, I listen to a lot of stuff where people just say like completely out of pocket
Alex Cameron
shit.
be like.
Yeah, like we reviewed Alex Cameron and Father John Misty in consecutive weeks. Like we talk about JPEG Mafia all the time. Like I am well accustomed to people saying insane shit on songs. And he's just like, I'm putting the mask on. I'm going crazy. And it's just like a punk album. I was like, good job, man. I also didn't like Don't Go to Anacita.
Yeah, I'm not huge on that track either.
It just felt kind of repetitive by the numbers. Rest of it was pretty good though. It wasn't my favorite thing in the world, but I definitely can see why you're really into it. Like this definitely seemed like something that is very up your alley. Here Is the Thing is a total fucking slammer.
So good.
That song goes hard.
Yeah.
I said it felt piratey.
Yeah.
They're very much like it is galloping.
It is swashbuckling.
They are galumphing down the street.
Yes, definitely.
They are thoroughly galumphing. He's like a fucking drunk guy, like spitting these words on a street corner.
That track in particular reminds me of like what we were talking about with Billy Woods being like a prophet.
Oh,
he sounds like a doomsday prophet, drunk off his ass, wandering down the street.
Were you ever here for the guy who used to stand on the street corner of Bull and Broughton, like by the CVS, with a sign? He was like this. I think this was before your time, but for like 2 years, and before that too. You can find like articles about him. He was like this short guy who wore a suit and glasses, and he held a sign, and it just said, "What is a Jew? What is an N-word?" And he would just try and get people on the street to engage in political debate with him.
And what race was this man?
He was a black man.
Okay.
So he could say the word, but I don't want to have this conversation with you.
Yeah.
I don't like where the implications of these words are going. I don't like the implications of these two sentences at all.
I did not know about that man.
He was a fixture. Every single fucking time you went down Broughton, he would be there. Yelling those two sentences at anybody who passed by, trying to get them to engage in a political debate with him.
He would scare me.
Does he have a job?
Probably not.
I don't know. Very well dressed. Very confusing.
Yeah.
That is the vibes of this song.
Yeah.
Just guy standing on street corner, just like spitting words at passerby, trying to get attention.
Here is the thing.
Yeah. Windsor Hum is easily my favorite Protomartyr song now.
Oh, really?
That one is huge. That is like eating a brick. It's like, it's fucking giant. They don't sound that huge normally. I don't know if there's like another song I can think of that really just like right in the face. I'm sorry. I hope there's a pop filter on this mic.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, I really liked Up the Tower.
I love that track.
That song is like, it's going for like brutal, fucking atonal, like mad ass, incessant. When he starts like repeating lyrics on the back of the song, that could have been really annoying, and instead it just comes across like, wow, he is taking my face and he's just like scraping me against the pavement.
It actually like riles me up.
Yeah.
Like I listen to it, I'm like, I'm getting whipped into a fervor right now.
It's a really, really good
I feel
track.
like I would storm the Bastille to this, you know?
I would storm the fucking White House to this.
Yeah.
That was not a joke about the storming of the Capitol. I just think someone should bust into the White House and like flick
Punch
Joe Biden in the
senators.
forehead.
Yeah.
I am a noted disliker of, or like not care abouter of like cool down tracks on albums. Like a lot of the time, like I can, when I'm listening to like a really aggressive album, they put like a cool down track in there to pace it. I'm like, okay, fine. Like I get it. We have to have this, but this is not my favorite thing. Night Blooming Sirius is really good.
Yeah. It's got a really cool ambiance.
That song is awesome. It's got really intriguing lyrics. It's very spooky.
Yeah.
It is very spooky.
At night.
Yeah. I also like how it led right into Male Plague,
yeah,
which is also a good song. I like Male Plague for the same reason that I like Idols.
Yeah.
It's like it is not subtle. It is just loud.
No.
They just make everything they're saying land on just sheer charisma. Like it's just the force of personality that makes this not come off as completely corny. And then the other song I want to talk about is The Chuckler.
I guess I'll keep on chuckling.
Remember when I said I needed a 4-paragraph essay to break down how I felt about the grab Trump by the pussy line on the Ghost song?
Yeah.
That's how I feel about the line where he's talking about like being
Laszlo?
He's like being annoying to some foreign telemarketer on the phone. Cause like I've been there. Like I've been in cars with relatives who like get called by a telemarketer and like they start talking to the telemarketer. Like I can't tell if you're being racist or not. Like he doesn't know where the guy is from.
Yeah.
He's just like messing with him on the like it just does remind me of the weird racialized way that some people will like mess with foreign customer service people. Yeah. It's clearly a joke. Like, I don't think he would actually do this.
Yeah, I mean, that's the whole character of the song.
The song is a total banger.
Yeah.
The guitar tone on this song is fucking awesome. Like, the high notes that
really
that
nice.
come in at the end are awesome.
Yeah.
It's really, really good. I also just want to say I love the especially on Windsor Hum, but all over the record, there's like these strumming effects that you don't really hear on like really like brutal post-punk like this very often. Just like someone just straight like like a guitar reverby guitar strum like
Protomartyr has like this really, really awesome balance that they have on all of their albums, I think, between like brutality and catchiness and like melody. It's so like nice.
Yeah, it is funny because like yes, there are hooks on this album, but like a lot of punk albums do like chanted hooks, but there's just as much melodic hooks as there are chanted hooks on this one. They don't pick one or the other. I definitely like this better than Ultimate Success Today, and it has been a really long time since I listened to the other big one from them that I can't remember with the
Agent Intellect.
Yeah, Agent Intellect. It has been a long time since I heard that one. I heard that in high school, so I don't remember it very well.
That one has the Pizza King line. On Dope Cloud.
I see. They should have called it Pizza Cloud.
But this. Do you have any thoughts on Half Sister?
Oh, I like that one. Yeah, I actually just forgot to write anything about that down because I was listening to it like right before I got on the bus to come over here. But yeah, no, I like that as a closer. It was pretty good.
Half Sister is the one that I did the piece with the horse for.
Oh, I see.
Because it's that line where it's like, in northern Michigan, there was an incident in winter. A horse was struck by lightning, began to speak in a foreign language.
It reminded me of Equus while I was reading the play Equus.
I love the storytelling in that song, and it does link back to A Private Understanding, where the ending of that song where he says she's just trying to reach him. Yeah. And then at the end, she's just trying to reach him again. And that's the half sister. Reminds me of Equus. That's the half sister that he's talking about.
That's weird.
And then the next album on Ultimate Success Today, the opening track, Day Without End, it says, I could not be reached no matter how many times she tries.
Lol.
So
sucks to be her, I guess.
Well, because it's talking about truth. She's truth. So he's on Ultimate Success Today. That's about willful ignorance and brutality and racism. So it all connects together, all of the messaging on the albums.
That's neat.
Which is really funny because
totally put my nose in the microphone, by the way. It was great.
Like what you're saying about how this album, it doesn't make sense for it to be the political one.
Yeah.
Agent Intellect is definitely the more political of the two.
Yeah.
Like Dope Cloud is about the crack epidemic. Like, what do you want me to say?
Yeah.
And like Clandestine Time is about class consciousness.
Yeah.
It's literally about bringing down the rich.
There's all like these songs are not political. A lot of them are very political, but it's just like I mean, I said this in Discord DMs, but like people see the girl on the cover and are like, "Oh, political."
Yeah.
Shut up. Yeah. Shut up and die.
I know. Like it's more the wistful look on her face than anything.
Yeah. Pink also. I like pink punk albums. I think more punk albums should be pink.
Yeah, and I think that Joe Casey is not afraid of critiquing toxic masculinity, i.e., male plague.
He's not afraid of pink.
He's not afraid of pink. But yeah, I love this album.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I liked it.
I will say, I felt the same as you the first time I listened to it, where I was just like, that was cool. And then eventually, like, I just started coming back to it more. And I crave it like once a week and I listen to it all the way through.
I could definitely see this growing on me more so than I could see Ultimate Success Today growing on me. I mean, it hasn't grown. I listened to that one a long time ago. It hasn't grown on me. Not a long time ago. It just came out last year. But, 2 years ago.
Yeah. I quite like UST as well.
The unceasing passage of time.
Yeah. I like UST as well. It's definitely more of a hit or miss one. It's more polarizing. But I will say all the 4 Protomartyr albums that I've listened to, I think are bangers. They honestly, just his style of lyricism and the way that they write songs and all of the melodies and everything. Yeah. They just work really well for me. They're just very solidly a Megan band. So that's I like them a lot.
This has been the Megan Protomartyr Stan Hour.
It really is. I really was excited to have you listen to this because I like sharing this album with people.
Listen to Protomartyr.
Maybe
if you have a second today, you should listen to Protomartyr.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe you should listen to Protomartyr. I think Protomartyr might be something you can listen to.
Maybe. I mean, on any streaming service.
Streaming service, Protomartyr is there for you.
Maybe you should pay them on Bandcamp on Friday.
Or purchase their music on iTunes.
Yes. That would be so dope.
That'd be great. It's Bandcamp Friday this week.
It is.
Yay! Stan Bandcamp Friday.
Yay! Oh my goodness.
Woo!
Okay, so the one that you gave me,
Sophie's choice,
is Blank Mass, Dumb Flesh.
Yeah.
So this was something I didn't know that I needed.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
This scratched an intense itch for me.
The album cover looks like it itches intensely.
Yes. This one. Well, because this kind of like, so to paraphrase, this album is hard to like categorize. It's
electronic. It is roughly, there are some dance tracks.
It's like electronic, deconstructed house, like noise, drone, experimental.
Not too much drone. It's generally pretty.
There's like a little bit, yeah. But
detritus, but
oh my god, yeah. This was I loved it. I honestly don't have like anything noted down for favorite and least favorite, just because it was just I just got consumed by it.
Nice.
And this is the kind of thing where I love these kinds of albums that are just like this intense lead blanket of sound that just you sit under and you feel like time doesn't pass, or like the way that I described it. I don't know why this is the comparison that came out of me, but I said I like music like this that demolishes my perception of time and what's going on around me. Like I listen to stuff like this and I feel like I've been in a cave being put through psychic trials by a wizard or something for like 2 days.
Blank Mass is like, it is wizardly. He's like, this is him like, you're in a Faraday cage and he's just like shooting you with beams.
Yeah. And I'm being like slowly turned to like pyrene. Like I'm just like, this was pretty bonkers. And I will say Detritus I appreciated.
Yeah, that song is awesome.
That song kind of helped noise click for me this week.
It makes you wait for it.
Yeah. Because I am not a noise enjoyer. Noise makes me feel migraine-y and it makes me hurt. And it just does not click with my brain really. But this one really, really clicked with me. And I was listening to it. I was like, I get this. Like the texture works for me so much. That's one thing about this album. Intensely textured.
Oh, very, very textured.
It feels just like a book of like textured pages. And you're just like rubbing it. You're like, this one's sandpaper. This one's rock.
The tracks all have names like loam, atrophies, lung, detritus, dead format, no light, cruel sport. Double cross. Yeah, like it is texture is like the biggest thing with this record.
Cruel sport, I am being hunted by the wizard.
Yeah.
he's on horseback and he's like floating and
he's a horse wizard.
Yeah. I like to imagine him as a horse wizard, and he makes the horse float and it gallops through the air.
Holy
and then
shit.
And then he freezes me to death.
Dead format is the one that's like, he has fucking caught me and I am going to die.
Yeah. This is a serious experience, and the reason that I say that it's been something that I've been wanting to find for a while is because that like really brutal and dense kind of...
Oh, it is dense as fuck.
Yeah, that's the density of it is like what I really noticed.
The waveforms of a lot of these songs are probably just like bricks. Rectangles.
Oh, you remember the other week we were talking about Series and Calypso?
Yes.
And how that looks like a brick probably?
Yes.
I played that on my show the other day and I was looking at the levels on the
Did it look like a brick?
It did not move. It stayed solid the entire time.
God.
I was like, oh my god, we were right. Anyway, yeah, this one's probably similar. And it was that kind of density and like movement of it that I loved, that really I had only been able to find previously in one album, which is probably my favorite electronic album ever, which is Lands of Delight by Alan Moore. And that one, it does use a lot more like traditional instrumentation behind the density and as well. But that just like sonic thrashing is like, I always want that. And like, this is one of the albums that we were talking about earlier where like it's so intense that it makes me feel like it's like possessing my muscles and like my skin's about to melt off.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes. It's really dark. Yeah. This is a pretty grim listen through. It's always dense, but it's not always loud. Like it's not always going to be like down your throat blasting at you. Like Lung is pretty quiet. I think No Light is pretty quiet too.
Lung is nice at being that quiet because it leads into Detritus. Yeah. Which is like, that is truly the Brick song.
Yeah. Detritus is an 8-minute song that is for 4 of those minutes just like TV static.
It's just like noise
for 4 minutes, and then
very slowly a drum emerges.
Yep, you can. It's like at first you're like, "Am I imagining that?" Yeah. Is like the quality of it, because like the melody starts up underneath it so quietly, and then at the halfway mark, it like drops and kicks into like it's almost like symphonic. Like it's almost like a symphony that comes out of it.
It's like this grand symphony from hell.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm being welcomed into purgatory right now.
It's not even that like, the first part of it is hellish. It almost is like going from hell into purgatory. Like it is very, the
deliverance.
The actual melody that comes out is pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I fucking love this album. This was, I sent this to you. This album came out in 2015, and it was one of the first vinyl albums I ever went to a record store and bought for myself, which is fucking insane. Why was I like that?
That is so funny.
Why was I like that? I rolled up to I believe it was Bleecker Street Records in New York, which does not exist anymore.
R.I.P.
So sad. And I walked out with Arctic Monkeys AM, which classic 15-year-old hipster's first album. Jack White's Lazaretto, which was new at the time. Still love that album. Air's Talkie Walkie, which is a weird pick. That's like a down-tempo record from the early 2000s, but Surfing on a Rocket from that album was on the FIFA soundtrack, which I have already spoken about being a building block of my music taste, so despite having never played FIFA.
That's so funny.
And then this album, which like I can't imagine the emotion that Cashier was feeling.
Yeah, I would have been terrified of you.
Yeah, I was really powerful, I bet. I was just wearing like, I'm trying to imagine what I would have been wearing at the time. I was just like some kid wearing a flannel. Like, I don't think there would have been anything. Oh, God.
I remember when I went to Amoeba Records, I picked up Merryweather Post Pavilion, Crack Up by Fleet Foxes, and Like Clockwork by Queens of Stone Age. And like, as a young girl, I was putting that up there, and I was dressed very femme that day.
Yes.
And the cashier was like, "What?" I was like, "What? Do you have a problem?"
I just wanted to say that people like that fucking
suck.
Like the Jack Black. He's like Jack Black's character from the fucking John Leguizamo. John Leguizamo? It's not John Leguizamo.
I was like, what?
What's it? The fucking movie with
John Favreau?
No, it's John. Oh my God, John Cusack.
One of the Johns.
John Leguizamo. It's the John Cusack music where he works at a record store and he's like kind of an asshole.
Yeah.
Fucking High Fidelity is the movie. Jesus Christ, John Leguizamo. Who fucking cares about John Leguizamo? We don't talk about Bruno.
No.
Yeah, no. John Cusack. That guy is like Jack Black's character from High Fidelity. And like, that's like the kind of person whose ass I want to beat by making this podcast psychically. Yeah. Like, I'm under no impressions that like Dumb Flesh is an album that's like super accessible. Like, it's not like, it isn't like, it's like an hour-long, like, dark, electronic, fucked up, harsh thing.
Yeah.
But, like, I got into it when I was 15. I didn't know fucking anything about music at all. Like, anything can strike anybody.
Yeah.
And I hate the idea that it can't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there are a lot of friends that I've had who, like, once again, I am under no illusions that my music taste is like crazy eccentric or like insane, but it's out of the realm of what normal people listen to every day.
It's like girl who has a music podcast.
Yeah, like,
that's us
basically. And so like what I listen to on a daily basis is not what people normally would.
Yeah.
Like if you saw me on the bus, you wouldn't imagine I'm listening to Burning Hand by Iceage, you know? Like it's just not the way it goes.
Banger.
Very good banger. And so people like, my friends will be like, can you help me try and understand why you like what you like? And so I'll try and show them stuff. And sometimes I give them something and I'm like, this is a real out there pick. Like, I don't know about this. Like I sent one of my friends like an avant folk Korean record called The Gleam by Park Ji-ha.
Okay.
And I was like, this is weird. You might like it. And she was like, this is awesome. This is so fucking cool. And I was like, see, you impress me.
Yeah, it really is like, yeah, you never know. Like anything can stick with
anyone.
Like it doesn't, background doesn't matter.
Yeah.
People who are like, people get very annoying about like, oh, you have to X, you have to Y.
Yeah.
You can't possibly like this yet. You don't truly understand it. But I mean, just like,
people get annoying with me about that, like online, where I'll be like, I haven't listened to these like 5 essential albums, but I like this music.
Yeah.
And they're like, how did you skip those? I'm like, I don't know. I made my own path. Like I just figured it out.
The concept of essential albums is difficult for me because like, I get it. Like I get it. There are always going to be some things that are revered. That's
and like
culture.
Foundational and stuff like that.
Yeah, like that's culture. There's no way you can get around that.
Yeah.
But that just invites guys to like suck themselves off over liking this thing that everybody else likes.
Yeah. And there are ones that I think are fine to completely avoid because it's come out that the people who made them are shitty.
Yeah.
Like for example, I don't listen to The Velvet Underground and Nico because Nico sucks.
Yeah.
So I just avoid that one. And people are like, it's so influential. I'm like, well, I like what it influenced. I don't really need to hear it then.
Yeah. And it's like, yeah, with something like The Velvet Underground, that's actually a good example. It's like, I don't care about The Velvet Underground. Like, I don't mean to say that as like, fuck everything The Velvet Underground ever made.
Yeah.
They suck. I have heard Velvet Underground. I've said, okay.
Yeah.
I don't care. Yeah. And moved on with my life.
Yeah.
And like, I like a lot, like you were saying, I like a lot of stuff that is influenced by the Velvet Underground, like fucking Iceage.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that I'm like I've indebted anything to the Velvet Underground or to like people who think I should listen to the Velvet Underground because I like Iceage.
And it doesn't mean that you need to listen to the Velvet Underground to fully appreciate Iceage.
Yeah.
Like people who think that there's some like other plane of appreciation that you reach once you listen to all of these albums really irk me. Like it's the same kind of people who are the reason why I don't listen to Radiohead beyond like one album. Because I like In Rainbows quite a bit. And I'm like, I don't really feel any urge to go outside of that.
Yeah.
It's scratched the itch for me. That's it. And they're like, but you don't get it. You don't get how they got there.
I'm like, that's the core of what I'm saying.
But I don't care is the thing. I like this album and I'm not going to force myself.
Getting it is so fucking overrated.
Yeah.
Getting it is like, oh my God.
I don't care how much or how little I get it. I enjoy it.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
That's all there is to it.
That's music.
And that's what that's what I'm trying to bring to this podcast. Like, I don't care if you get it. If I describe something and you think it is interesting, go listen to it. Like you fucking
doesn't matter
never know.
It doesn't matter if the description that we give is positive or negative. If you think it sounds cool, do it, you know? Yeah. Like there's really no music that is objectively bad or objectively good. That's just the way that art is. Yeah. So listen to things and make your own opinions. Like sometimes I catch myself, I'm listening to it once for this podcast and I'm like, am I crazy or is this like not very good? And then I'm like, who cares if I'm crazy?
Yeah,
if
exactly.
I don't think it's good, I don't think it's good. Like it's my podcast. I don't owe anything to anybody.
It's my podcast. I get to make the music sucks.
It's my podcast. I get to make the shitty takes. I take joy in my shitty takes.
Yeah, I love having bad taste in music. It's great.
It's awesome. It's so freeing. I mean, that's like, I always, like, there's the evolution. When you're a child, you have, like, bad taste, or you have no taste because you haven't listened to anything. Mm-hmm. And then as you get older, you have quote-unquote good taste because you, like, think that you should. And then later on, you get, like, wise, and you realize that it's okay to have bad taste. Yes. And then you just grow into having shitty taste and love it. that's where I think that's the ideal place to be.
I don't care about the things that influenced me. I only care about my influences.
Yep.
That's it.
And
anywhere you can find those influences is good, regardless of whether or not you think you like are allowed to or not. Like whether or not you think you have the context to get it doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
Put it in your ears.
Put it in your ears and enjoy it and marinate on it and enjoy yourself. So yeah, that was our rant about whether or not music is necessary in some areas.
That was a good segment. I think this is I think we should keep this one. Oh shit.
The fly was on my mic.
Near critical hit.
Yeah, I almost flicked him off, but I got too afraid of
the mic.
You
need to go into post and like crank up the sound of him going buzz. Oh shit. Oh fuck. Oh fuck. Oh god. Oh Jesus.
He's way up there. Shit. Don't come down, bitch.
Stay up there.
I'll fucking kill you. And that's a real threat. Wow, the waveform of that clap is obscene. That's awful.
Sonic weaponry.
Yeah. All right. That's going to jump scare me so bad when I'm editing.
You need to replace it with like a funny animal sound effect or something.
Boing. Oh my goodness.
Do we want to get into our records from this week?
Our records, yeah. I saw an actual 52 minutes into the episode.
Awesome. Love that.
I mean, we'll cut part of that. It's fine.
Yeah, but we've been talking about albums. We're good.
Yeah, we're fine. I enjoyed that segment.
I enjoyed that segment too.
We should continue doing that.
Yes, I like that one.
Yes.
Yes, we're very good podcasters.
Yes, we are very good podcasters. Okay. So first up on our... Okay, wait. When I've been editing, I want to kill myself because I noticed that I start off every single album by going, all right.
Customer service voice.
Yeah. Like I code switch into like my fucking like nice voice.
Have you ever worked customer service?
I know, I just art teach, so I talk I talk to parents.
Same shit. That's customer service.
Yeah. All right. I fucking hate myself. I fucking hate myself. Okay. So first up on our list, we have Melody's Echo Chamber with Emotional Eternal.
I don't truthfully have a ton to say here. This was lovely, all in all.
It was very nice. Yeah, that's
refreshing.
Really what I came out with. It's like this really nice, like neo-psych, like folky sort of journey. It like veers into down tempo in some areas.
It's very beat oriented. Like these songs have a really nice like groove to them.
And her voice is very angelic. It's really nice.
There are not that many singers that I can think of off the top of my head who have a voice like this that's like very wispy and ethereal and like pretty, and then like slather their voices in that much delay. Like there's a lot of singers who do that, but there's not a ton of singers who do that and then have like the mic command that she does. Like she's very good at like, she's got teeth like within this like whispery style. She really does like kind of grab presence.
The like lilting kind of way that she sings plus the like dream pop sensibilities.
Lilting plus dream pop plus ratioed plus you're bald.
I am bald, actually. This is what you guys don't know. But it reminded me, speaking of Sirius and Calypso, it reminded me of the vocalist of Sirius and Calypso
exact same thing
over Beach House.
Yes.
That's how it felt to me.
I was also reminded of Sirius and Calypso just because of the interplay between harpsichord and bass guitar on this one. That's a cool instrumental combination that cool more palette. Things should use. Speaking of palette, this record has a very, very close instrumental palette, like front to back. It is all that like harpsichord, bass, beat heavy. She's in her upper register.
Super, super smooth journey.
Very defined. The tracks tend to lead into each other.
Yeah.
It's also like just over 30 minutes because it says 35 on Spotify, but the last track is a radio edit of the closer.
Yeah.
So it's like 31 minutes. You can knock this out in like, if you just, it's like splashing water on your face.
This is really gonna be, I think, a big one for summer for me. Just like sunbathing to this.
Yeah, totally.
Feels like it'll be so good. But yeah, and I liked the interplay a lot of the like kind of polyglot thing between English and French.
Yeah, it's a little caro in that way.
It was cool, especially because her I mean, the thing that I think is so interesting about like different vocal styles between languages is like in English she's super super high.
Yeah.
And when she goes French, she gets a little bit lower.
Oh yeah, just because so much of French is in your throat,
yeah,
exactly. Like you have to sing that way.
Which is kind of what happens to Sarah on from Carrot Medio too, because she gets way higher in Japanese because that's just the way it goes.
Yeah.
And it also changes a lot of the like tempo of how she's singing. And I just think it makes it almost feel like it's a like a duo singing. It's really cool.
When she sings in French, it's like dipping your head underneath the water, and then when she comes back to English, it's like pulling it back out.
Yeah, and also she puts a lot less delay on the French parts.
Yeah,
so they're a lot clearer. It really does have like kind of a two-tone kind of vibe to it. It's really cool.
Do you know the concept behind the band name for this?
No, I know that it's a solo.
Yeah, it's just her. But Melody's echo chamber. Her name is Melody.
Yeah.
Melody's echo chamber comes from a dream where she was in a quote chamber of infinite delay.
Oh wow.
So she loves to play with like amounts of delay and like levels of delay on like all the different scheduled emergencies. Yeah, just like levels of delay and like playing with the different ways delay can be applied to vocals. It's very cool.
So yeah, this one was really nice. And I also one other like influence to me that I had noted was some of the more soft moments off of Odyssey and Oracle by the Zombies.
I don't know that album.
Ooh, it's a classic of psych. It's really good. Because I've been really digging the song Hung Up on a Dream by them recently, and this really hit that for me. So I was very happy to have found this. Definitely going to be one to listen to. And since it is so brief, it's a nice little full project to just kind of throw on and enjoy.
This one's so easy. Yeah. This is such an easy recommendation for me.
Yeah, me too.
Toss this on. If you like what you hear on the first track, you're going to like the whole thing.
Yep.
It's over in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Like it's tight. It is well sequenced. It's really good. I liked it.
I want this on vinyl for a summer day with my window open and a cold glass of tea.
Yeah, that sounds really nice.
Sounds very nice.
I will also just say, Where the Water Clears the Illusion.
I love that track.
That guitar solo fucks hard.
Yeah.
They just kind of put that in there.
Yeah.
Just out of nowhere. Just drop that. It's awesome.
And I like the beat on the Hypnotist a lot.
That one was fun.
Really nice.
I like how it's sort of disconnected at first and then like syncs back up.
Yeah, it's super cool. And then like the kind of ambient outro for Alma the Voyage.
For Alma the Voyage, yeah. I really like that.
I think that my least favorite actually was the radio edit, because I think that the ambient outro adds so much.
Yeah, I liked the radio edit, because the radio edit was one of the singles, so I had heard that one. The album cut is just, it's way better.
Yeah.
The application of strings to this sound is very nice. Like it's funny because like with an album with like harpsichords on it, you kind of anticipate the strings, but she really like holds back.
Yeah.
Like she doesn't apply them until the moment is right. It's hard to justify a 6.5-minute song on a 30-minute album.
Yeah.
But I think it does. It does very well.
It does a good job. I agree. Yeah.
I would love a cold glass of tea right now. That sounds awesome.
Doesn't that sound awesome?
Sounds really nice.
Oh, okay. Well, while we're longing for that, if this sounded good to you, I fully recommend it. You'll probably enjoy it. It's a very easy listen.
Totally easy listen. It's great.
Yeah.
Big thumbs up.
Big thumbs up. Okay. And our next album, I said okay, not all right. Our next album.
Growing into your Macklemore phase.
Okay. Our next album is King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard with Omnium Gatherum.
Then the Psych Twofer. I don't know what the fuck is going on with this one.
Dude, okay.
I'm thinking back on my experience listening to this album and I'm laughing.
Yeah,
like,
no, I laughed out loud at multiple points.
Yeah.
And also, I wish that you could see, I listened to this with my friend Alex, and we were on video call and he could just see my face. I was just like sitting there and I was grimacing for like half of it.
This record is absolutely baffling.
Yeah.
There's just so many very distinct choices on here.
So strange.
That make no fucking sense.
Can I just say, I'll let you like talk about what you liked and disliked, but I just have to say the rap cuts.
They're so
what the
funny.
fuck? Okay,
they're so funny.
What I said verbatim when I heard them for the first time was, these guys sound like who the Beastie Boys give swirlies.
Okay. There was two rap cuts. I don't care at all about one of the other ones. I forget what the title was, but I don't care. Sadie Sorceress.
Yes.
Okay. I don't hate it.
I do.
I don't hate it, but it sounds exactly like something that should have been on the Jack White album we listened to last week.
So
like
true.
This is a lost track
Yep.
from Fear of the Dawn. What is it doing here?
I have no fucking clue. And also the thrash on this one, the thrash metal, sounds so daddish.
It's very limp.
It's very dad.
It's sad because they have a thrash record.
Yeah.
Infest the Rat's Nest, which is really good. Both of the thrash songs on this, Gaia and Predator X, they both just sound like leftovers from that record.
And I like, Alex was telling me that apparently on some part of one of the thrash songs, they play part of Perihelion.
Oh.
Which, like, I guess is cool if you're like into the Gizzverse.
Yeah,
but at the same time, like, get a new riff.
Yeah, well, I get that. If you have a back catalog that large, I definitely understand, like, referencing back to your past stuff. But honestly, recycling the riff from Perihelion makes me wonder if these are actually leftovers from Infest the Rat's Nest, because like that riff was repurposed in a different way.
Okay,
for a different song.
What was the track that like really made you laugh out loud?
Ambergris.
Really?
Yeah. What the fuck?
For me, it was the Garden Goblin.
I loved that.
That one made
it's so funny.
I was head in hands laughing my ass off at that track. It's
so good. I don't know how much like 60s British invasion like psych rock you've heard. That is like pure.
That is so funny that you haven't heard Odyssey and Oracle. It is that.
Oh, well, I was thinking of fucking it is like pure fucking like Herman's Hermits. It's like all these like the Birds. Like it's just like even like some like of the stupider Beatles songs. Like it's just that. But like really stupid.
Dude, and apparently that song is about like a fucking reluctant goblin, and it's like it's referencing to one of the band members' childhood dogs.
Oh my god.
And that's why I closed out my review with "Stay away from drugs, kids," because what the fuck?
I don't think it's drugs. I think Australia. I think that just happens to you if you live in Australia.
Yeah, just you get like sun sick.
Yeah. As for what I liked, oh yeah, also Magenta Mountain was really bad, which I was kind of sad about. I actually skipped that single. I just didn't actually hear it.
Yeah.
It's kind of retreading territory, and the vocals are really bad.
I was a little annoyed by the fact that we were going for the climate change songs again. I was like, I get it, but like
they've kind of been on that tear for like
a long time,
6 albums or something by this point. Like I get it. It's important. And like I try not to fault people for like choice of subject matter in songs. I
do. I'll be the villain here.
I am tired of it.
Yeah.
There's only so many angles you can take on it.
Yeah.
Ambergris was like, it takes a break halfway through the song to just be like cartoon sound effects.
Yeah.
And like that was the moment that made me laugh. I listened to this record while I was working. It is a double album. It is funky
120
beefy.
minutes.
It is 2 hours. And I can't say it didn't keep me invested, because it did. I was with it the whole way through. Mm-hmm. I was just very confused for a lot of it. I guess if I could compare this whole thing to another project of theirs, it would be Oddments, which is like their kind of like, it is their like early B-sides album, but it's also their most popular album. Like their most popular song, Work This Time, is from that one. They're trying on a lot of different sounds here, and I can appreciate that, but most of them just kind of suck.
Yeah.
Like half of this album could have been left on the cutting room floor.
Definitely.
This did not need to be a double album at all.
What were your favorite songs?
The Dripping Tap, obviously. So I don't fault this album for being a double album. Like I said, what I said was half of this album could be on the cutting room floor. What I didn't say was this has no reason to be a double album. If the songs were better, I would be totally fine with this being a double album because of the Dripping Tap.
Okay.
This is a 20-minute song. It fucking smacks front to back. And putting it as the first track on an album like this, I feel you have instantly earned the right to make your album a little longer than normal. That's how I feel about that.
I don't know. I disagree because there are albums like what's the one? The Left at London album. It's like all the letters. Which that one starts with like a 13-minute song. Well, it's only 5 minutes long.
It doesn't have
five songs long.
It doesn't have to be that way, but I feel like putting the dripping tap first definitely justifies it being that length.
I don't know. I just find double albums in general a little bit difficult. And I don't really feel I am also, full disclosure, I am biased against Giz because I've never really liked anything of theirs. And this did not change my mind.
This is the first time that I've heard them like, I don't love every Giz album. There's ones where they're just like doing something that I don't love.
Yeah.
This is the one where I've thought they have no idea what they're doing. Like this is the first one I've heard to my recollection that is like, wow, this is really scattered and doesn't feel cohesive. This did actually help me identify one of the things that I definitely don't like about Giz, actually. Okay.
And probably the reason why none of their shit sticks with me. The lyrics. Because there is a lack of lyrical presence on a lot of these songs.
The vocals are very much an instrument for most of Giz's
But I wish that they would commit to that and just let it be an instrument. Because like a song like The Funeral, which is the last track on the album.
Yeah.
I liked that one. It was really nice.
Yeah.
And the only lyric on it is just the funeral, but it's almost inaudible because it's just under effects and it's really high.
Right.
And I was like, that was really nice. And I wish that they would just let themselves commit to be instrumental a lot more often, because even songs like The Dripping Tap, that song is a lot of fun instrumentally, and it evolves and it changes a lot, and it's a real feat of musical prowess. I like it for that. But the lyrics, it's just the same thing over and over and over again. And there are other songs in the album where like 60% of the song are the same lyric, and I'm like, you're failing yourself.
I was about to be like, you're not going to come for the hook on The Dripping Tap, are you? Because I love that.
I don't mind it as a hook. I just wish that it was not the same thing over and over.
Yeah, that's fair.
And like, so the big thing for me is that they are nerd music, you know? Like, and I wish that they would really commit to being nerd music and go full sci-fi, because like they're obviously nodding to it. The album is called Omnium Gatherum. Like, it's sci-fi, and like the cover and everything. I just wish that they would let themselves go fully into that and like go full Rush mode. Like, I want to hear like Neil Peart on this, you know? Like, I want to hear more of the commitment either way, one way or another, because as it is right now, the vocals are just flaccid and they just sit there.
A lot of the camp of King Giz is often like in the vocal tone, and the lyrics are trying to be like seriously dramatic, and I feel like that doesn't end up well a lot of the time.
Yeah.
I think they've been better about that on some past albums, but on this one it's like it's like a slinky going down the stairs. It's like it just doesn't.
Yeah. This irked me kind of actively, which was a shame.
There are some highlights, I will say. Kepler 22b is a huge highlight for me. That's one of my favorite Giz songs in a while. The like bass piano stuff happening on that track is like, I died a little bit. Drum groove is crispy as shit. Mike the Snare said this, so I'm gonna steal his thing here. The intro to Kepler 22b would make a really good rap sample. I would love to hear a beat sampled off of Kepler 22b. That would be awesome. I did put the Garden Goblin in my favorite tracks. It's
so silly.
It's very funny, but I thought the guitar tone was really good.
Yeah.
I liked the Grim Reaper. I was pretty whatever on what was happening vocally on that one. I just really liked the flute jam. I thought that was a lot of fun.
Okay.
Candles and Presumptuous were my other two favorites. They went full like easy listening jazz.
Yeah.
I was down for that. Another really good flute moment on Presumptuous. Yeah. Also the fucking triangle on that song was so good. Candles even had some like exotica influence, which that they've done that before. They did that with I don't remember the song. I'll put it in the playlist. You know what? Real Giz heads will know which one I mean.
I don't. I'm not a Giz head.
That's all right. Yeah, it definitely reminded me of like some more exotica influenced stuff they've done before.
Yeah.
And yeah, no, I was into those songs.
I had fewer favorites. I liked The Evilest Man
I fucking hated that song.
I thought that song was cool. I didn't mind it.
Did you read the lyrics?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
There was just at some point in the album, I just gave up and I stopped caring. I just got fatigued. I liked Persistence. I liked Presumptuous, and I liked The Funeral. The Funeral was the highlight for me, and that's a 2-minute song at the very end of the album. That really says all you need to hear. Really, this just made me, I don't know, something about King Giz just makes me want to listen to other music. This made me want to listen to like 2112 instead, because that is also an album with a really diverse sonic palette with like a huge song, you know? I
believe the song I was talking about was Ontology from KG.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll have to check that afterwards.
Yeah. But it just made me want to listen to 2112 by Rush, because that's an equally huge album with the 2112 suite and everything. And I was like, that one goes fucking hard, and it's got a great story, and the lyrics are good, okay?
If you liked any of this, like, fucking just go listen to Nonagon Infinity instead. Like,
even as someone who doesn't like Giz, Nonagon Infinity is better.
Yeah, it is much better. Like, there's some highlights, but it's not. This is a 2-hour album that
is not worth your time.
Is not worth 2 hours. There's so much, like, they're dipping their toes. Like, Red Smoke is like, the slow jam is like approaching something I could be into, but it, like you said, it's just covering it. It's just retreading. They're just retreading and retreading on this one. Evilest Man. So
I have
funny.
no real allegiance to that track. It was just a moment where I was like, there's some respite here for some reason.
I thought that one didn't justify its length at all. It's only 7 minutes, which is really funny because the album opens with a 20-minute song that like rips ass.
Penis music. But they keep fucking name dropping Rupert Murdoch. How very long must his arms be to span the distance he can reach, to make all our four corners square, where in his conservative lair? I wonder if he knows this song, probably read it before it was done. He probably hacked my phone. I'll change the locks when I get home. Pull up your socks, or become a fox. Wink, wink. Do you want to be just like the evilest man, Murdochian? See, this one's campy in a way I can get behind.
It reminded me of the Shamir, like...
Oh my god.
It was very, very ham-fisted. Like...
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess because they weren't trying for, like, a half-baked statement on climate change or, like, a shitty sci-fi thing.
It is...
I was like, there's a little bit more passion here. Like, I can tell that they're going for something that is a little bit different.
Yeah.
So I respected that.
It's different, but it feels just as half-baked and even more ham-fisted to me. I did like the song instrumentally, though.
Yeah. I think that at some point, like I said, I just got tired. That's only, like, the 5th song on the album, and I was already exhausted.
This was a lot. I was listening to this while I was working, which I basically never do because I need to be paying attention. But I was like, it's 2 hours. I don't know when the fuck else I'm going to be able to do that. And I spent the entire time I was working just like making various faces.
Yeah, like, no, me too. This is one I like. I make so many faces listening to music anyway. And this one, my friend just kept messaging me like, what's the face? I'm like, you know what the face is. You're listening to the same album.
I'm puzzled and not a little bit disappointed. I hope this is just a bump in a road.
Yeah.
They'll release something next week. It's fine.
Oh my god, I am dreading it. Oh, I'm so sick of them. And I'm sick of people being like, you just gotta listen to one of their other 18 albums, you'll get it.
That's me. That's me right now.
Yeah, literally.
That's me.
You are not, you're making me a hip hop head, but you will not make me a Giz
There's 20 albums. You have to like one of them eventually.
Oh my god. I don't want to. I don't wanna. Yeah.
That's gonna be the new For You segment next week. Is for the next however many weeks, I'm just gonna feed you.
I will
Giz
actually
albums.
boycott. I will not do the podcast. Oh my god. Okay. Well, that's our thoughts on Giz.
Yeah.
That's
unfortunate.
Unfortunate. Don't listen to it.
Good cover.
Nah. I just don't like environments very much.
I like it.
The next up is Dalek with Precipice.
Dalek Precipice.
Yes.
Infinite texture, blood woven together with diamonds with pressure. Core to the architecture. Don't hush me when I speak. I scribe the lecture. The youth that we reach, they not attention. The history of streets will not.
I absolutely love their first album, I believe.
Yeah, 2002. Old as me.
Yeah, Filthy Tongues. Oh. Don't
Sorry.
say that. I'm old. Filthy Tongues of Gods and Griots. It is a absolutely god tier rap record. If you need like, if you want to just get enveloped by a rap album this weekend, just give that one a shot. It is like a direct through line from the experimental rap of the 90s and like the Def Jux era all the way up through today. Like you can hear LP just as much as you can hear JPEG Mafia in that. Like it is a direct bridge. It is crazy. I also like their record Absence. But I have been pretty unconvinced by other Dalek albums. I feel like they kind of lost their touch a little bit. I thought this was a really good return to form for them. I was very pleased with this.
This one was really cool. Yeah. I haven't really heard much rap go this sort of drone style.
Very fuzzy.
It's very fuzzy. It's very droney. It's got a lot of... I will say it did do the thing that I don't like in rap, where it was pretty much the same beat with very minor changes.
Yeah.
But I didn't dislike it.
Yeah, it feels like it's doing that to a purpose.
Exactly. That's what I mentioned in my thing, was I said that so I said that some areas of it were a little samey and the beats didn't develop that much, but I also thought it did that in service of the drone effect, and that's sort of just the vibe of this sort of hip hop.
No, for sure.
So I don't really put that as a knock. I also said the bars and the flows got a little buried in the mix, but I think that kind of works in service of the all-encompassing kind of mire of sound.
I wrote that too. It feels very overexposed.
Yeah.
It's like they've turned up the contrast too high on these songs,
definitely.
and it's like burying his voice.
Yeah. It's like deep fried.
Yeah, it is deep. It is totally deep fried. There's a lot of moments where like it like threatens to lapse into like straight up drone.
Yeah, like the opening track.
Well, the opening track is
just drone.
Ambient for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I was into that though.
I liked it too, and that kick right into Boycott was like really, really effective.
Yeah. This is already becoming such a great year for like abstract and experimental
rap. It
rap.
really is, yeah.
I am so excited to see where the rest of this year goes.
This is a very good year for me to be getting into hip-hop more, because these are definitely
releases.
The kinds that I would like to be into.
Boycott is so menacing.
Yeah, that's a really good track.
That song is like stalking me.
The opening lyrics too on the album. Did you take note of the lyrics?
I didn't take as much note of the lyrics on this one as I probably should, because when I went to genius.com to look at the lyrics, most of them weren't there. Okay. So I decided, like, I'm just going to take this one in.
I will read you the opening verse of the album. Alkaline smile holds back my acidic tongue. Tumultuous time to refine my cadence. From filthy breeds, philosophies, a sheath sword kept sharp for times like these. Bred beneath, so no need for RA's rays. I'm bathed incandescent, sensing most minute change.
That's hot.
This a new age, turnt page burnt as offering, not many prospering. So that's the opening of the album.
That is sexy.
It's a really, really good tone setter.
That is sexy. One of my issues while I was listening to this album is that it was not super specific a lot of the time. Like it is also in as much as it is threatening to become a drone album, it is a lot of the time threatening to become political. It is giving a lot of like revolutionary sentiment, but not a lot of specifics until the last track, but we'll get to that.
Yeah.
And that like that specificity in another way is something that like, man, that's like something that I feel like can totally anchor a song that is otherwise like kind of floating away with itself lyrically.
Yeah. I didn't mind that really, just because I thought that it almost felt, because it kind of toes the line between esoteric and direct. Yeah. In the lyrics a lot of the time, it felt to me almost like, in the very literal sense, underground. Yeah. Like as if it's like you're saying, vaguely revolutionary, like as if they're trying to pass you a note.
It feels like you're listening to this on like pirate radio. Like this is being like beamed to you.
Yeah. And you're a member of something, but
totally. You're
doing something. You're not quite sure yet, but you're there for it.
I'm into that description a lot. Actually, that is really what this album feels like. It is like, this is like a well-kept revolutionary secret.
Definitely.
Yeah. Like they're speaking to you in coded language.
Yes,
like,
exactly.
You'll know what it means.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was I liked this quite a bit. This definitely shows me character development in myself, because this is certainly not something that I would have liked a year ago.
Yeah. I really liked Good. That one takes a like almost like chill hip hop beats to relax and study to approach to this whole like blown the fuck out, distorted ass.
But even then, it like takes that and then just like violates it.
Yeah, it's like it's willing to relax into a groove and then starts to like oppress that groove, like just like baking it.
Yeah. It's like putting it below a heat lamp for too long and it just starts to like meld into the pan.
I couldn't tell exactly what he was saying on holistic, but I'm pretty sure that's a Canox name drop on the hook, which that's very fitting for this. That whole song is really like, it feels like the ground is like shifting underneath you as you're listening to that one. Like it's very evasive.
Yeah. A favorite for me was A Heretic's Inheritance. I liked that one.
That was my least favorite.
Really?
Yeah.
I also like The Harbingers.
Harbingers was my favorite.
Yeah. So nice
yeah.
balance there. Devotion was cool too.
Devotion is like rapping over fucking also Sprach Zarathustra. Like that's what that fucking sounds like. That song is crazy. Just these constant like, that is the droniest. So it's just like these synth like string. Yeah. And he's rapping over that.
Yeah. And then as we were going to mention, the closing track in Sight.
Yes.
I liked a lot too.
I think if I was listening to Devotion live, I would just start levitating.
Yeah.
Like I would literally just be commanded up. Like I would like force choked.
Yeah.
Yeah. Insight is like when the beat kicks in on that one. Oh, it's like I've like someone shining a fucking floodlight in my eyes.
Yeah.
Like it is, because like it starts out like kind of dirty and dingy like the rest of the songs, and then it's like these like painfully bright synth stabs kick in with the beat.
It is punishing.
It is great. It is really punishing. It is like I am getting stabbed.
Yeah.
Total overexposure.
Definitely. It's a cool one.
Harbingers has this sound that's like, it sounds like there's a blade like swinging above you, like getting closer. Like it pans from left to right and right to left, like it's swinging back and forth above you.
Harbingers is a very good name for it. It does feel like impending.
Totally, yeah. The hook is also, we in absence, we ain't equipped to exist, which I don't know what the fuck that means, but it's great. I love the way that one like breaks down.
Yeah.
Also, like it just becomes like this scraping, like people are like calling over it, but it's like chopped.
Yeah.
It's cool.
This really, it does feel like, cause this act is like well loved in like experimental circles. And it feels like they know that they have that legacy.
Oh, for sure.
And they're allowed to do whatever they want now. So this is like when you were talking about Benny the Butcher and you were saying that he doesn't need to sound hungry anymore because he's resting on what he's done.
That's what
I didn't like that about that album, but this one I think takes that momentum that they have and uses it in a way that I like.
Yeah.
Which is really using it to be inventive instead.
Yeah, totally.
Sort of a la, in a weird way, a la Motomami.
That's sort of like an older rapper's thing. Like once you're established, you're like, because you're almost like not rapping for your life anymore. You know, like you have nothing to prove. That your paycheck, your like lifeline paycheck, isn't riding on this.
Yeah,
you can like afford to like relax and spread out a little bit. These guys are like 20 years established now.
They're old.
They're old people.
Smell a little bit.
They still got gas in the tank though. This shit is really good.
Yeah.
You were talking about A Heretic's Inheritance. Did you want to talk about that one?
No, I just kind of liked that it was a little bit like 2-part kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which I like stuff like that where there's that juxtaposition. I thought that it was cool for that, and I did like the bars on it from what I remember.
I really liked the hook. I didn't like that it took so long to like get going.
I like that personally. I like what we were talking about with Blank Mass. I just like songs that make me wait. So this kind of I don't love immediacy a lot on music. I don't know what it is. I just like things that make me wait and that I feel deserve to make me wait.
Yeah. And
I liked the bars a lot and the delivery and the hook. Yeah, it did get me there.
I hold myself to a higher standard. I don't give a fuck if your gods are angered.
Tick tick motherfucker.
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah.
I do like what you're talking about. Like with Detritus, like that song makes me wait, and then the payoff feels worth it. I just didn't think the payoff on this song felt super different from like all the other songs on the album. Like it was just kind of the same like vibe, and it's not a bad vibe. It's just like, okay, why did I have to wait so long for this one?
Yeah, I'll read you a couple of the bars that I liked.
Okay.
So I like the openings of these songs.
Yeah.
I've noticed a lot. Like
they do hit you right out the gate.
There are some bands where I've noticed that I have a real thing for closing lyrics, where I really like a strong close, and this one has really strong opens that I liked. So this song opens at, exist at base levels, prevalent systems seem built for decay, delayed reaction to dismay displayed in various ways, thoughts conveyed concise oppression seen as might, toppled by concepts of patience and leverage. Ooh. Privilege is hemorrhaged and relabeled heritage.
Ooh.
A heretic's inheritance, so complex to identify as American, half saying it's better when other half's attacked by shepherds. Quick to dismiss and bury facts of a past, mad checkered. I play chess, don't put away your checkers, we got to do better.
That's really good.
See?
That's really good.
It's really good. I love that the privilege is hemorrhaged and relabeled heritage. That's awesome
really good.
Bar.
The past mad checkers, I'm playing chess, don't put away your checkers. Yeah. That's really good too.
Yeah. So I thought that one really earned the length, and I loved that like punch of like examine yourself that it gave me.
That's fun. I like that a lot actually.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll give that one another shot later.
Yeah. I'm glad I stuck up for it. So yeah, I don't really have much else to say about this one.
Yeah.
Other than it was just good.
It's another one where if you like the first couple tracks, you'll like the rest of it.
Thing,
yeah. It has a sound.
I think that I just thought of this. In a weird way, the first track, Into Boycott, is on a macro what a Heretic's Inheritance is in a micro.
Yeah,
it's the same effect.
I preferred it the first time just because like it felt like a punch to open the album. Mm-hmm. With a Heretic's Inheritance, we're like 2/3 done with it already. Like, okay, we're doing this again.
Yeah, I didn't mind it. I think actually it might be what you're talking about with like you don't like cool down songs. Yeah, because it does kind of slow the momentum a little bit.
That's I wouldn't consider this a cool down song because it does come back. It's just like, okay, why am I waiting for this? The instrumental palette here isn't. If the bars really are that hard, then sure, I guess I understand.
Yeah.
Like you're waiting to unleash this verse, but like. If the instrumental palette is not significantly different from the rest of the record, I don't really want to wait for it at that point, that deep in it.
I liked it as a piece in the album. I don't know. This is like one of those things where I don't know if I would listen to most of these tracks outside of the album. Yeah. Just because they were so specific in palette. Mm-hmm. But altogether, I liked it as a piece.
I think I could get down with any of these if they just like shuffled on. Yeah. Like, I would be like, oh, yes, this is the vibe suddenly.
Mm-hmm. All right.
You want to move along?
Yep. Our next album is Bob Vylan. Bob Vylan presents the price of life.
I'm not talking crusty crab. I'm SpongeBob at the bank. Put the money in the bag. Moving wicked and bad. Put the money in the bag. Moving wicked and bad. Put the money in the bag. Moving wicked and bad.
This was quite a thing.
This one, I actually enjoyed a lot more than I thought I would.
Yes, victory!
Yeah, I like this. Do you want to know what this did for me?
What did it did for you?
This hit what I was wishing Idols had hit for the last 2 albums.
Okay.
Because this...
Wait, okay, you wish Idols would rap.
I just wish that they would be fun again.
Yeah.
So this has that like the like British man brutality that I like to hear, and the punk, and it's fun, and the lyrics are direct, and they make a lot out of what's being said.
They are direct and deranged.
Yeah.
Also.
This feels like a spiritual successor to Joy as an Act of Resistance, but it's much meaner. Yeah. And I like that a lot. So this one was a lot of fun, and I did see that, not to bring up the curse site rateyourmusic.com, but I did see that his previous record is really highly rated as well.
Bob Vylan's?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So maybe I will go back and listen to that as well.
This record, I said this was like British Soul Glow.
Yeah, no, for sure. I definitely see the comparison.
It is blistering punk.
Yeah.
Really heavy and political a lot of the time.
Yeah.
But these guys are taking themselves way less seriously than Soul Glow. These guys have like injected the Soul Glow formula with like
ecstasy,
crumpets, and ecstasy. He comes
like health
off,
is wealth.
Yeah. I didn't like that song, actually.
I did like that one. It was funny.
He comes off as like a snarling cartoon villain. Like he is like, he's going to eat you.
Yeah.
For as hard as a lot of the songs like might stick with you here, it's a pretty low stakes listen. It's just 35 minutes of these guys just like throwing chairs around.
Yeah. I will say I do have a pretty distinct like line where I stop liking it as much.
Okay.
I thought that the first half of the record is really nice and I liked that a lot, and it had a lot of punch, and I liked the diversity of sound. But I think that the last half, like after the censored interlude, I think that after that it becomes a little one note and becomes a little less interesting to listen to. It becomes a little bit more formulaic punk patterning.
I would agree that they could have sequenced it a little better. But I still really like all those songs, especially individually. What You Gonna Do, the closer,
that one's really good,
has like one of the most impactful gunshot sounds I've ever heard in any song ever. It's so perfectly placed. I didn't expect it at all. It kicks the song like right into high gear. Also on the breakdown outro on that track, when the guitar just starts like syncing up with his chanting, I want to be in a mosh pit so bad.
That sounds so
I
good.
want to beat somebody up.
Bob
It was
Dylan,
great.
come to Savannah.
Please.
We'll interview you.
I thought Drug War just went fucking stupid. That song is awesome. I kind of really they mixed his voice in that one like really high, like way above everything else, and I kind of like it.
I didn't dislike any of those songs really.
Yeah,
it was just that I was like, oh, okay, like these are all good, but they're kind of just in the same vein. Yeah, and I wish that they had been sequenced a little bit more. I did actually quite like the censored interlude.
Yeah,
like,
that was
what
cool.
It was saying.
Yeah, it was neat.
I was like, yeah, you're right, because I have thought about that before.
Yeah.
So I thought that was cool. This song, I mean, this album has some really good things to say.
Yeah. This Take That.
I love that one.
The groove on that shit is so good. I love it when British people hate England.
Yeah. I liked Big Man a lot as well.
Big Man was so good.
Yeah.
That song was really good.
The sequence of Big Man and Take That is a great way to start the album.
Yeah. Take That, I was just going to say, manages to make the phrase, quote, "Kill the Queen." That's a vibe.
Yep.
Into the calmest part of the song.
It's so good.
Must Be More is straight up, it's UK drill. Yeah. But they made it hardcore punk. Yeah. And it does it totally tastefully, like within slotting right into both genres. And it's so filled with dread. Mm-hmm. Like it is like desperate. Yeah. It's really good.
Which is great too, because drill has this sort of legacy of just being like kids making fun of each other. Yeah. So it's like to make it so
I think that's grime.
Oh yeah.
Drill is like the
Yeah, I think that drill does also somewhat, I mean, grime is like that exactly, where it's like 16-year-olds like with crazy accents,
drill
like, making fun of each other.
Drill has a big reputation for like violence and murder. Yeah. Like Eric Adams, the mayor of New York, is like trying to ban drill music right now.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
He's a piece of shit cop.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nuts. There's been a lot of comparisons between like drill and like leftist punk music of the 70s. Like it is
Then the marriage makes sense.
Yeah, it's cool.
I also liked, okay, again with the Idols comparisons.
Yeah.
Pretty Songs reminded me of Love Song.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, no, I totally see that.
Yep.
Yeah.
I like both of those songs.
I'm not a pacifist. I'm smashing fists at every single racist prick I meet. I'm not having it. There's no kumbaya to be found around here. No groovy beat. No liberal lefty cunt is going to tell me punching Nazis ain't the way.
I like that one.
If you want to hold hands and sing, go do it over there while the big boys play. Yep. Okay?
That reminds me of I'm like Stone Cold Steve Austin. I put homophobes in coffins, like that line off of Colossus. Yeah. And then like I got you a card. It says I love you. Like that's like it's just like it's so British and so good and so punk.
Yeah. It was really good. Turn Off the Radio is just pure fucking Rage Against the Machine worship. Yeah. I'm so here for that.
I didn't really have any least favorites off of this. Even Health is Wealth, which is goofy as fuck. I liked it a lot. It made me giggle.
That one crosses the line from like political song to preachy, and I will acknowledge there is history behind this. There's a lot of reggae music that is like this. I just don't like it. It's not for me. I don't like being preached at like this.
Yeah.
I know I'm chubby, okay?
It made me laugh because it reminded me of living in California.
Yeah.
So that's why I liked it, because I was like, oh, green smoothies, yeah.
I'm chubby. I can still do direct action. Was there anything else that I wanted to say? Oh, Wicked and Bad. That song goes dumb.
Mm-hmm.
I was smiling like a fucking moron within like a minute of that song starting. If the SpongeBob Mr. Krabs line on Wicked and Bad doesn't go down in UK punk history, we have failed as a society.
Yeah.
That shit, when he said like, I'm SpongeBob with the bag, put the money in the bag. I was like, I was just gone. It was so good.
Yeah, this was a really good time.
Yeah, this is a wild ride.
Yeah.
It is definitely a roller coaster.
Yeah. I'm glad that you're glad that I liked it.
I was so afraid you weren't going to like this one. I was genuinely like, I put this on here and it was a mistake. She's going to hate it. I'm so glad you liked it.
I like idols because they're stupid.
That's
but I
true.
just like, they're stupid, but they're saying a lot, which is why I don't like Ultramono, because they stop saying anything.
I do like Ultramono, but mostly just on a pure sound level. Like I just think the album still sounds great.
The lyrics sound like shit.
Some of them are very stupid.
Have you seen like the cow goes moo, like, and also like consent
is a hard sell. I will admit that one's not very good. Consent.
Yeah. War is probably the only like one that I really like off that song.
I didn't think Model Village was that bad. Like I get why people don't like it.
Yeah.
But I don't think it was worth like not ever playing it live ever
well,
again.
I think that they're not playing it. Did you read like the whole article about that?
Yeah.
So it's more about them being like, oh, we started inhabiting a character instead of actually doing stuff that we like.
Yeah.
And agree with. So I understand that.
Yeah.
And I am excited. It's just an Idols tangent, but I am excited for. I didn't love Crawler, but I really
the Beachland Ballroom.
That song.
That's one of the best Idol songs ever.
Yes, it's amazing, and I'm so excited to see them go in like more of a post-punk direction.
Who knew he could sing like that?
I know.
His singing on that song is actually like god tier. He sounds incredible.
He sounds so good.
Yeah.
He sounds so mournful.
Yeah.
And like when he starts screaming damage, I'm like, I feel that.
It is hair raising.
Yeah. So good. I want more of that. Yeah, like, really bad.
I would love to hear a record where he like sings more, because he has a great voice. Like we had no idea.
Yeah. Do you like Tranquility Base Hotel and Casino?
Yes, but not. I like it. It's not. I'm like the only person who doesn't have a polarized opinion on this album.
I hate that album.
I just like it.
But I think that Joe Talbot could make an actual good version of that album.
4 stars out of 5.
Because I think that he has the intensity of the voice to contrast nicely with like the piano, and they still keep the intensity with the guitar and everything.
Yeah.
I think that they could make a good one that has that
like
kind of merger.
Album.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be down for like a loungier album.
Yeah, I think that a loungy Idols album could like break my brain. That would be awesome.
Bat Phone off Tranquility Base is a really good song. That's
when I listened to Tranquility Base, I literally felt like I was in a time warp. I could not tell a single song apart from each other.
I kind of like that about it. I just think it's kind of fun. Like it is literally like you're sitting in the lobby of this hotel just like listening to whatever's on the radio.
Yeah, I have never liked that album. Every time I've gone back to try and like it, because people are like, it's the best one by them. I'm like,
I am not the Tranquility Base like defense committee by any means. I just like it. I like pretty much every other Arctic Monkeys album better, but I listen to it. It just makes my brain a little happy.
Yeah. Anyway, this has been the Idols tangent.
He changes. What was the other thing he said? I don't remember. Cut that out.
Okay, so now we will move on to Redveil, Learn to Swim.
This is another one that I don't have a ton to say about, but was pretty good overall.
Yeah, I thought that it was impressive, considering
he has just turned 18.
Yes, he turned 18 the day this released.
Yes.
So he created all these beats when he was like 17.
Nuts.
Which is crazy because they are quite complex.
The beats are the best thing about this album.
Definitely.
By far.
The bars do not do anything for me.
I
think that he did a good job with like saying agreeable things in them.
His flow is nice. Yeah. I think the words that he's saying are chosen poetically, but this album is very fake deep.
Yeah.
And not in the way that Denzel Curry was, where he just like wasn't saying anything. I feel like he's like trying to get some ideas across here. Hair. He's trying to get ideas across here that he doesn't have the experience or like life experience to fully get across.
Like, not to say that an 18-year-old can't make a song that's like,
oh yeah,
it gets better with time, but like you're 18, you know?
Not to say that an 18-year-old can't have like life experience also, or experience musically in general, but like this one does not. And it is. I don't say that like on principle. I just say like it's pretty clear that he's grasping on some ideas here that he doesn't necessarily have the lyrical handle on to be able to communicate super well.
Yeah, even on some of the tracks, like we were saying that the bars, or not the bars, the beats were the best part of it. Mm-hmm. I did think that there were a couple that were very cluttered.
Yeah, Shoulder
I didn't like, and I also didn't like Automatic.
I liked Automatic.
Automatic felt like a mess to me. There was just so much happening.
That was a better feature from Fly Anakin than anything that he put on his actual album. What the fuck, man?
So funny.
What are you doing?
But yeah, the vocalist, the female vocalist on Shoulder, I didn't like her at all.
I liked her voice. I felt like she was given no direction.
She was just giving me like knockoff. I feel weird saying this considering how Ariana Grande rips off Black artists.
Yeah.
But she felt like she was trying to do an Ariana Grande feature.
Who's the woman at the end of Free the Frail by JPEG Mafia?
I do not know.
Is that Helena DeLand, I want to say?
I don't know.
Yeah, Helena DeLand. That's who she sounds like to me. I don't know anything about Helena DeLand, but that's the vibe I got. And I just feel like she was given zero direction for this feature. Like her hook is a mess.
Yeah.
And I don't think that really lands on her.
Yeah. I don't know. Let's see.
Oh, yeah, we're still talking about Shoulder, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Also the hook on Diving Board I thought was extremely silly.
Yeah, that one.
Need to hold my nose, my nose, my nose.
I liked PG Baby and Home.
PG Baby was really good. That one is right in his wheelhouse. Like that beat is really good and the hook was really nice too.
I liked that one. I thought that the issue was that some of the beats, when they weren't really good, did kind of become a little forgettable. And then the bars were not significant enough to compensate for that.
Yeah, exactly. The beats carry the song, so when the beats aren't there, there's just nothing to make me remember it. New Info was the hardest hitting one for me too. Like that choral laced beat was like, I could hear anybody in like the New York drumless scene or like anybody in the Chicago lo-fi scene right now. I could hear like anybody on that. He did a really good job on that beat. And then he had his one lyrical passage that I was like, yes, that's a good stanza. Keeping the stainless by the window, loyalty to my kinfolk, mama ingrained everything I thought was new info, forced to live in this skin cloak, forced to live in this state, stepping in and out of this limbo, forcing myself to exit my comfort zone. All that's been going on when it comes to big growth. I love the imagery of the skin cloak. That was the one point on the record where I was like, yes, you have something here. Stick with it. And he didn't for the rest of the song.
Yeah.
But I'm rooting for him.
Yeah.
I thought the outro on Morphine was sexual. And I also did like the way it pivoted right into Automatic after it.
Which is a shame considering I didn't like Automatic.
I did. I thought it was a good one. I definitely think that this kid is a work in progress. He's got
huge potential.
I think I genuinely am like putting my money on he's going to become a really important artist, like sometime not too far in the future. Like this is the building blocks of a guy who I think could do something really amazing later down the line. But this isn't it.
No, it's not.
He gets a lot of shit for copying Earl Sweatshirt also.
I didn't get that at all.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. On this one, I feel like he's finally pulling through to let that be like a guiding influence rather than like taking directly from it.
That's good.
There's some older stuff where he sounds a lot like Earl Sweatshirt.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I was going to say, I feel like he's totally pulling through that on this one. I think anybody who says that now is just
being a hater.
Parroting Fantano. Because Fantano said that and then everybody started saying it.
OMG. Fantano stands GTFO. Stantano. Is that all we got?
Red Thinny Veil Tano here. Yeah, that's about all I got. Okay. It's pretty good. If you want to hear something that is a low stakes, soulful rap album with a lot of emotion behind it, this would probably be up your alley.
If you want to be at the beginning of what will probably be a big career.
Yeah, hop on this one early.
Yep. All right. Next up, we have Gutter Punk with Punk Everlasting.
Yeah. This was awesome.
Yeah, I loved this.
I was enthralled by this.
Yeah, me too. I was not expecting to like it this much.
Yeah. This guy had an album before this called
My Love on Display.
My Love on Display. Yes, thank you for pulling that. Which I also really liked.
Yeah.
And this one doesn't sound that much like it. Like there's obviously similarities,
yeah.
but this one is like it's very dark, but it's also very fun.
Yeah, this one pulls a ton of influence.
Yeah.
It's like down-tempo, trip-hop, like hyper-pop type stuff.
Industrial too.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Brian Eno-ass
Definitely.
sounding synth shit.
It's super cool. And I think that this is kind of this kind of niche of really like patchwork electronic stuff. Yeah. I think is something that's been a little bit underfed recently.
Yeah.
At least with good releases. And I'm really excited to be seeing more of it because this does feed a lot of the reason why I will bring it up once again. One of my favorite albums, Love What Survives by Mount Kimby.
Yes.
Like this sort of
I definitely hear Mount Kimby in this
yeah,
too,
because
for sure.
it is
especially that cold a lot of the time.
Yeah, that coldness, and then at the last song, Never in Love, there was a synth like at the very end of that song where I was like, this is ripped straight from Mount Kimby's keyboard. But it definitely that sort of like very widespread influenced electronic with that darker tone, and like the sweet vocals.
Yeah,
I think is something that is underutilized, and I'm excited to see more of it. Like. This whole album feels like it's elaborating on what Marilyn off of Love What Survives is doing. So I'm really excited to hear that. And the songs have a really palpable mood.
Yeah.
And the vocals complement everything really well.
Totally.
And the sparing use of percussion
is
really smart.
I said the drum presence on this album is like it's balls out awesome.
Yeah.
Like it is probably the best thing about this album.
Yeah, because it's not like overbearing at all.
No, he knows his way. So he has a very good intuition for like the presence of drums on a song. Like he knows like when you're supposed to notice them and when they're supposed to be like just the skeleton for the song. Like the drums are always like good and there, but like he has a really good way of like either letting them just be part of the background or bringing them to the forefront. Like they work really well in both contexts, and he's really good at like flipping that switch. Every time the drums like kick in on this album, it hits so hard.
Yeah. This one really was just altogether like a really, really good listen.
Can I make a wild comparison?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, so what Billie Eilish is to mainstream radio pop, this album is to hyper pop.
Totally see it.
It's like the dark equivalent. It's like the darker in the shadows
sheep
version. Yeah. It's kind of bringing like underscores, but also Pink Pantheress I heard a lot of in this. But also like Aphex Twin and One Otrix Point Never. Like it's bringing together a lot of things that you wouldn't necessarily think go well together, but they feel so just natural.
Super, super fun release. Fun in a sense that it's just super engaging to listen to.
It was really good.
I liked this a ton. And it's a pretty brief one too. I think it's like 35
or
minutes
so
long.
Don't Want to Hurt You is like, if such a thing is possible, that is like a hyper pop ballad.
Yeah.
It's like this mid-tempo thing with these like this like fucked up acoustic guitar riff.
Yeah.
He's like croaking into the auto-tune and there's xylophones on it, which is just going to make me go crazy.
Yeah. I'm gonna bring it up again. The closer, Never in Love.
Really good.
Really good.
Really
Great
good.
highlight of the record. Like the drum presence on that one I thought was awesome. And I love the synthing. The synthing at the end. Very good. There's nothing that I don't like on this album. I didn't have anything that I didn't like.
I think my favorite was Oh God.
I liked that one a lot.
The beat on that one is such a nice like push and pull.
Mm-hmm.
And then the drum presence, that's the one that I was like, okay, I have to write this down as a thing about this album because it's so muted, but there in a way that makes it like fade into the mix, and then it kicks in. And it's just like the drums over this like saw blade synth that's like drilling into your ears. It's awesome.
It's a really, really unique album.
Unconditional Love was also my most like, that was my favorite on the first listen. That one's very Pink Panther-y. I know things are kind of messed up.
And that one I thought was very sweet.
Yeah, it's cute.
Under the midst of all of the like darker synth work and everything. Just like it's a sweet message.
Yeah, it's nice.
This is a pretty direct album, I think.
Yeah, you'll get it when you listen to it. Like it's not we're selling it like, oh, it's so experimental, but no, it's
not.
You'll get it.
It just ties in a lot of aspects. I liked the peak as well.
The peak was really nice. I love the way this record mixes acoustic guitars with synths because somehow it manages to like make the presentation so digital that it makes the acoustic guitars sound synthetic.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's cool.
The nice thing about this is that nothing feels like we're selling it as really experimental, but nothing feels out of place and nothing feels really overwhelming. Everything is super cohesive in the world that this album kind of makes. And like Sophie was saying, like all of the more holistic elements of the album, like the acoustic guitar and stuff, and like an actual drum kit and stuff like that, ties in really perfectly with the synth, and it just feels like it works together.
Yeah, they all complement each other really well. It is a very considered palette, and it's never like the same between two tracks either, really.
Super, super interesting record.
Very good. Shout out to Anything About Me and also When You're Scared.
Yeah, I also liked I Nearly Cried When I Saw How Much They Loved You.
That one and Disguise Myself were the two I put that I didn't really like.
I liked that one.
I said for I Nearly Cried, I could see this being someone else's favorite song on the album, but there just wasn't enough going on for me.
I also liked Don't Quit Your Day Job.
Oh yeah, that one was really good. That one reminded me of old Ep6.
Shout out Ep6.
Shout out Ep6, you're a real one.
Yep. This is a pro Ep6 podcast.
This is a pro Ep6 podcast. Wish you were making better music, bud, but I'm in your camp.
We like you as a person.
And we love your old music.
Yes.
When You're Scared, the main melody on that one is so dark and like layered, and then when the beat does the drop again, it's awesome. This is a really cool album.
You know what? I just thought of this. This is what I wish that the new James Blake had taken more cues from.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, I could see that.
Because James Blake he's got an interesting palette on a lot of his like features and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And he sounds so good on the Mount Kimby album. He suits that sound so well. And then he has to go and like put rap features on his album, and like he has such like dark subject matter on that album about like losing a friend and stuff like that I think could be so good, but he doesn't give the instrumental enough tension to really back it up.
Yeah.
And I wish that he had taken a little bit more of a page out of this album's book.
I will say, I agree with you there, but I will say I would not be averse to hearing a rap feature on this album.
I would.
I want to hear Danny Brown on this. I want to hear Danny Brown on this yesterday.
Maybe you'll get your wish on the JPEG Mafia Danny Brown collab.
Oh shit! I forgot about that. Oh my god! I exploded when I read that headline.
I was super stoked about it.
For those who do not know, JPEG Mafia and Danny Brown Danny Brown brought out JPEG Mafia at Coachella, and they played a new song, and Danny said that they have a collaborative record coming soon.
Yeah.
Which, oh my god,
huge day for annoying people. I'm annoying people.
I'm annoying people. Danny Brown is not allowed to tell me that. I wish that he had just like dropped it on me. Like a fucking iron ball. Clonk my head in with that.
Yeah. So that's something to get excited for. That's going to be one that we cover for sure. Can you imagine if it's the same week as Kendrick?
Hey, we're reviewing a new Kendrick Lamar album next episode. What? What?
Huh?
No.
2 discs?
That's not right.
2 discs and a book?
It is so weird to be saying that because we don't know anything. We don't know anything about this at all. No singles,
nothing.
No teaser.
All we know is what his people have been saying loosely, which is that it's his rock album or
that
whatever,
would be crazy.
which would be nuts.
I don't even know if I'm believing that anymore because I don't
No.
know what to believe.
Maybe they're just spreading fake news.
Maybe.
We'll see. I hope it's good.
I hope it's good too. Are you a TPAB enjoyer?
No.
No?
I
Maybe
thought
you could be now.
no. I didn't listen to it that long ago.
Okay.
I listened to it on the flight here. So, I don't know. That album, I liked it, but it was not something that I would listen to casually.
Well, no.
And I thought that in
like
some
movie.
areas it became a little bit too pretentious and a little bit
Totally disagree.
and a little bit bloated.
I think that album, I don't know if there's a single song I could cut from that album. I'm not as like suck Kendrick Lamar's wiener as a lot of people. Like I don't like Damn at all. I think Damn is kind of not great. And that's not even like a Fantano gives it a 7 out of 10 and everybody goes insane.
Yeah.
I just don't think it's that good.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a single song you could cut from TPAB without losing the narrative.
I don't know, it just didn't like super impress me.
Mortal Man. Are you talking about Mortal Man when you're talking about like when it becomes pretentious, like the 10-minute outro where he's talking to Tupac?
No. Honestly, for me, it's not even I don't know. It's not even like that there's a single moment that I could point out where it got that way. It was just like the overall vibe a couple times. I was like, okay. Like I didn't love the poem going out throughout the whole thing.
Oh, that's so cool.
I don't love that. I thought that it was a little bit too much.
I remember you was conflicted.
Yeah, I'm
misusing your influence.
Sometimes I did the same. I'm like, please. I liked a lot of it and I didn't like a lot of it, so I'm just kind of middling on it. Like I thought that I liked the For Free interlude.
Oh, that song's crazy.
That song's so cool.
That song's nuts.
And with is that Kamasi Washington on the sax?
Yes,
he goes bonkos on that.
All the guest musicians on that go absolutely off their rockers.
I like it.
Thundercat on Wesley's Problem. Oh.
I also like these. I like these walls.
If these walls could talk. If these walls could talk.
Sex.
This is our Kendrick Lamar white people cover hour.
Yeah, I don't know. That's not one that I would really go back to often. There are some songs that I like off of it as like single tracks, but as a full piece, I understand it and I appreciate it, but it's not something that I like go back to and really, really love.
It is something that I have on vinyl because it's like a movie. Like you're right that it's kind of hard to listen to casually, especially because of the songs like flowing into each other very like directly. Yeah. Like if you are putting on just one song from that, a lot of the times it'll like clip in because it's connected to the thing that came before it. But like it like listening to TPAB, it's like when I get in the mood for TPAB, I'm like, I'm gonna listen to TPAB, and I sit down. It's like watching a movie. Like that's just how I would say.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just different strokes, I guess.
I think we can get you into it. I do. I do believe that it fits into your tastes enough now that we are starting to get you into rap that you could reappraise it.
I think I'd just rather listen to Good Kid, Mad City and give that one a try.
That's fair. And I think also that might help you like appreciate TPAB as well.
I do appreciate it. I just don't like it.
I think you could.
We'll see.
This is not like a joking like King Giz. Like I know you don't like King Giz. I'm never going to get you into King Giz. I'm just joking when I say I'm going to feed you albums. I think you could end up liking TPAB because I feel like it is in your wheelhouse.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not. See, the thing is that kind of rap is not something that I've needed help getting into. Yeah. Like that's just come to me pretty naturally. Mm-hmm. So I didn't expect to not like it.
Yeah.
I went into it fully expecting to like it, but it just, I actually listened to that. That flight was a time where I was like, okay, I'm going to tackle a couple of big albums that I've been putting off forever, which were TPAB and The Glow Part 2.
Fuck, Jesus.
Glow Part 2.
Emotionally overwhelming yourself. Are you okay?
Completely like stole the show.
Are you all right?
That's one of my favorite albums now. I love it dearly. And so TPAB, I was just like, man, go away.
Are you okay? Like one airplane ride?
I do that shit all the time.
All right, just checking.
I'm good.
Like I have to check in with you after that one.
The Glow is just so good.
Do we want to talk about Haru Nemuri?
Yes, we should. Okay. Haru Nemuri. Shunka ryougen. What the fuck?
This was interesting and always surprising.
So I feel a need to give context.
Okay.
Because you haven't listened to Haru Nemuri.
Never.
Okay. So I've been a long time Haru Nemuri fan. She released an album in 2017 called Haru Nemuri or Haru Toshura, depending on what streaming service you're looking at and how they translate it. But that album is very single-minded.
Yes.
It's like noise,
okay,
J-pop, and a specific kind of Japanese rap that she does. Which is like very stream of consciousness,
What's
like disjointed. I don't know what it's called.
Okay.
But she just does that specific kind. So it merges all of those, and it's very like synthy.
Okay.
But she did that immaculately. That album is so good. Like there's only like one track on it that I don't care for. And that's because it gets the most overblown.
Yes.
Exhibit A, this album, which is a little bit overblown.
It is very overblown.
So going into this, I had only heard the one single Seventh Heaven, which happens to be one of my favorite songs on the album. So this one, I have a lot to say about it just because it bums me out aggressively.
Okay.
Like Haru Nemuri to this day is one of my favorite albums in this genre. Like I just love it. It's perfect noise pop. And so this one, it goes larger and it doesn't hit because she spreads herself way too thin. It feels like I said that she got stuck in the expectation of trying to make something that is grand enough to compete with how well received Haru Nemuri was. And instead ends up creating this like bloated, bizarre, overwhelming patchwork of genre and mood and production style.
It is always changing.
Yes, which is not always a good thing. To me, it feels like she tried to make Karaoke Samen, I'm not going to say the whole name of the album, by Sheena Ringo, because that album is similarly like eclectic.
Yeah.
But doesn't understand what made that album really good. There's no punch to a lot of this. Like I noticed at the very beginning, even from the outset, the song Deconstruction.
I hated that song.
Is so muted. Like
it is. That song is very silly.
The bass is so sluggish and quiet and timid. There's none of the boldness or aggression that you're used to from her previous albums.
The whole hook of that song is just her saying, "Where is my mind?"
Yeah.
Which like. The song is so pointlessly I'm sure it's a shout out, but like the song is so pointlessly bombastic, which is not the Pixies.
No,
it just doesn't gel.
No,
that was one of my least favorite songs on this album.
I agree.
I also really disliked Heart of Gold.
Yeah,
which had some cool lyrics about like the moral judgment of art. But the trap beat is so disorganized.
Oh my God, I know.
And low impact. And Who the Fuck is Burning the Forest is just...
Oh my God, that was so stupid.
Very bad. It sounds like... Do you know Grandson?
No.
He is like this trap rock artist who like has some cool songs and then devolved into like wrestling with 21 Pilots to see who could get the edgiest song on the top of the Billboard Alternative 100. And I say this as someone who has a little bit of affection for both artists. This song is bad.
Yeah.
It's just not good.
I'll kind of, just for the sake of like getting it out there, I have like a whole thing that I wrote on my second go. So I said like we returned to the like toothier vibe of Haru Nemuri for Never Let You Go, which I thought was a good track and I liked it.
Yeah.
But
I also like that one.
And then the more focused electronics of Yume wo Miteru, which unfortunately that is a knockoff of a song off of Haru Nemuri completely. I was like, this is just 19. And it's a worse version of 19. It has less passion and less like elegance to it. And like none of the naivete that makes the song 19 cool. And then the most successful examples of the grandiosity on this album come from Shunka Ryougen itself, the title
really
track,
like that
and
song.
Seventh Heaven.
If you put a violin in a metal song like the title track, I will go apeshit every single time.
Like that section of those two tracks is really good, and I was like, oh, maybe I'm misjudging it. And then you lead right into Iconostasis, which I was like, okay, cool, like haunting interlude. And then you punch right into Sister with Sisters, which is just so weird.
Yeah, I didn't get that one.
And then like this whole middle section of Sister with Sisters, Sozosuru,
I like that song.
Bang, and Heart of Gold.
I liked Bang a lot.
So weird. I don't like it at all. I don't like Bang whatsoever. That song is probably my least favorite on the album.
This is a very odd. It's just very strange. There is a lot to unpeel here.
Yeah.
Like, this is easily the densest thing we listened to this week.
It's the only one I listened to twice. I felt the need.
It is jam packed. There is not only just a lot of content here. It's like 20 songs or something. 21 tracks and an hour and a half. The songs themselves are so like
needlessly dense.
There's a lot going on in the instrumental. There's a lot going on in the lyrics. There's like repeating themes of like birth, war, planetary death, technology. She keeps bringing up wombs and magma on like a lot of songs. There's a lot to unpeel here, and I'm not going to try to unpeel every bit of it, especially because I am not a Japanese speaker and don't think I could really give like what she's saying on here a run for like a respectful run of what was intended, especially because there's not like an agreed upon English translation for these because it just came out this week.
Yeah.
Okay. I liked this. Period. End of sentence. This is not the kind of music that I will personally go nuts over, but I do think this is a good record that has an audience that will devour it.
Yeah.
And it is also something I could see growing on me as I listen to it more.
I would really like to hear you listen to Haro Sira and see what you think.
Yeah, I will do that for sure and report back on our next episode.
Yeah.
Because I have a good few favorites here. I was into Never Let You Go. Because it started with Deconstruction. I was like, oh, fucking Christ, here we go. And then Never Let You Go is like, it's keeping the drama, but it's not overblown. She's keeping it in check. And it also kind of reminded me of Paranol at the end, like the way it faded into an almost like shoegazy passage. We talked about the title track. That one's great. There's the line where she says, this is Google translated, so this is definitely not like the exact phrasing she's intended. But it said, in the depths of this womb, who isn't always there, without a name or shape, flirt like a beast, chant the destruction in the morning, hit the void at night, between life and death, let the magma sea break. Which, again, dense. I don't know what the fuck it means, but that is some really cool imagery. I was into that. You mentioned Seventh Heaven. The backing vocal was really nice.
Yeah.
That kind of reminded me of the bands Wednesday and Ian Sweet, who are like indie rock bands that verge on shoegaze but never quite break into it all the way. Pandora just made me go like, what the fuck? Because it's like xylophone and violin and then just hard pivots into this like chaotic, noisy mess and then turns really cinematic on the outro. That's another one where she keeps bringing up wombs and magma. Sozosuru, I really liked the beat. I like the beat a lot on that one. Also at the end of that one, she says, touch my yes, which I thought she said touch my ass. I definitely thought she just took a break there to say touch my ass.
Yeah. That was one that I liked on the first listen. The second listen, I was like, okay, I'm done with this.
I liked that one a lot. Shunrai was the most digestible J-pop song on here.
Yeah.
She's still kind of hitting it at weird angles and very distorted volume, but I was into that one. Old Fashioned was hyper pop. It's just hyper pop Haru. Her vocals are very like mean girlsy on that one. I liked it. I thought the beat was really good, and she was talking about like throwing away philosophy in favor of just eating candy all the time. And then Ikiru was the very, very sweet. I thought that was a good one.
My favorites were Never Let You Go, Shunka Ryougen, Seventh Heaven, Shunrai. I like ZZZ Arabesque. That one was nice.
That one didn't stick with me. That was like an interlude, yeah?
Yeah. But those, I want to talk about those because they're weirdly relevant.
Yeah.
Inori Dake ga Aru. I thought that one was good too.
Mm-hmm.
And then I liked Ikiru too. But I hated Sister with Sisters. I hated Bang. I hated Old Fashioned. I hated Who the Fuck is Burning the Forest. I hated Heart of Gold. And I hated Breaking the World. Those are all the ones that I like felt really viscerally bad about.
Pretty much none of the ones that you said stuck with me at all. Like I didn't muster really many emotions about them at all.
Yeah, those made me angry. I felt a lot about this one. What I didn't like, I really didn't like, and what I liked a little bit. So it's overall been a negative experience for me, sadly. But the ZZZ Suites, the reason why I'm so insistent on comparing this to Harutsura, not just because it is her first full album since then, she did like an EP called Love Theism that I haven't listened to, but is because the ZZZ Suites, that is also what the interludes on the previous record were called.
I see.
So I'm like, you're directly nodding
existing
at
in
this.
The same universe.
You are showing and you're saying this is my evolution. But it does not feel like a progressive evolution. It just feels like you're throwing shit at the wall.
This is I will not disagree with you there. This is a very throwing shit at the wall and seeing what sticks with this one.
Yeah, and it sucks because, like I said, Harutsura is single-minded. That was the strength of that album, is that it took its concept and it pulled and it pushed all of the aspects that it had as many different ways as it could. It focused on drum, it focused on guitar, it focused on distortion, it focused on synth. And that's all you had. And then she pushed and pulled her vocals. And I would really like to see you give that album a try because her vocal style on it is much different and I think much more effectual. Because you remember the parts on this album where she just kind of screams?
Yes.
She does that so much better on Harutsura.
Okay.
Because there's actual precedent for it and it feels deserved. Like, she's not just like screaming to get your attention at the top of a hook. She's screaming because the mix is built up and she's emotive and it feels like she's bursting at the seams.
The only time I remember her doing that was on the title track on this one, which her vocals are all over the place on that one. Like she is like, she's like whispering. She's like fury metal screaming. She's like almost narrating at one point. Like she is all over the place on that one. But I really liked the vocals on that one. So if there's more of that on this past album, I would probably be into that. Bang, 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 brah.
I actually rolled my eyes.
She sounds like a designer.
I hate it. I fucking hate it. I hate it so much.
I liked that one.
I don't know. I'm mad that I'm so like bitter about this, but I am. That's just the way I feel. And that's just the way that I feel.
Yeah, to sum up my thoughts, I was into it, but it's not my bag. But I could see it growing on me if I listened to it more. But it's also an hour and a half long, so maybe I won't listen to it more because it's quite a commitment.
My thoughts on it are I'm going to go listen to Harutsura and cry. I'm actually really like genuinely bummed about this.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's sad because I was like, oh, there's so many opportunities for you to do well on this, but the lows were so low to me it drags down the highs, which is a bummer.
Just if you want to get a good first impression on this album, just skip the first song. Literally just skip it. Do not even give it the time of day.
Well, there are opener and closer like ambient tracks, so skip the first two.
Okay, yeah. Just start with Never Let You Go. That one's good.
And like everything that has parentheses deconstruction after it is shitty. I'm like, what does deconstruction mean? Does it mean that you're just deconstructing good music?
Yeah, it was weird. It was like it like uses the same elements, but it's not.
They're not good elements.
It's like it's not even that it's not good elements. It's just that you're not doing anything super different with them.
Yeah.
Like you didn't. It's like you're remixing this, but actually you're not, and it's just the same thing again.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, bro. I hope she comes back.
I hope I can fix her.
I can make her worse.
I can fix her. Yeah, so that's the sadly bad ending to this.
Yeah.
That's our last album. My closing thoughts are give the title track Never Let You Go and Seventh Heaven a try. And if you like the more synthy, like aggressive, like punchy aspects of those over the more like grand cathedral kind of feel, then you will prefer Harutsura.
I really like the covers on both of these albums, just for the record.
Yeah.
She has really good imagery for covers.
Yeah.
Just
the
good
only
colors.
one that I don't like off of Haros here is like the rock and roll whatever one. She says rock and roll a weird amount on her songs. She just like I think she just likes the way that it sounds.
I mean, I rock and roll.
Yeah. Rock and roll, baby.
I support that.
She also I haven't translated lyrics, but I don't know much Japanese, but she talks about God dying so much on that album and it makes me laugh. Yeah, she just says like she just says the word God died a lot and I'm like, fuck yeah, he did.
Rest in peace, bro.
Haru killed you, bitch.
Rip to Big G.
Yeah. All right.
Do we want to move into the singles?
I think we should, yes.
Alrighty.
I'm done wallowing.
Wallowing in my J-pop hole.
Yeah. All right. So for our singles, we can start out with Sorry with There's So Many People Who Want to Be Loved.
What'd you think of this one?
Mid.
Yeah, I am interested to see where this goes because I am down for Sorry a lot of the time. They're like this UK group who I couldn't even begin to tell you what genre they are.
Mm-hmm.
Post-punk ? Synth pop ? Their sound is like, I often can't tell what instrument that is that you're playing.
And this is just like soft alt.
Yeah, it's just like indie folk pop.
I was like, it's cute, but like I would go to other artists before this.
Yeah, it is just a cute song, which is weird because their album 925 is like menacing.
Mm-hmm.
Like Right Round the Clock is such a like fucking like dark, weird, like stalking song that like this is the follow-up? What?
Maybe they'll take a Big Thief turn and go into like
just fucking
a sweet album.
Everything.
Yeah.
Maybe. Who knows?
So yeah, that's my thoughts on that.
Yeah, I don't have a ton to say about it either. I just think it's worth pointing out as an album that is coming out soon and will probably get some attention.
Yeah. Next up, we have Soccer Mommy with Unholy Affliction.
What the fuck happened to her?
Weird.
What the fuck happened to her?
I thought that it was cool that she was trying something new out. And I would almost like to hear her go farther with it. It is cool, though, once again, a la Motomami, that she's gained a huge following and now she's choosing to divert this far. And it is a weird collection of singles that she's released.
Yeah, it's strange. There's only 2 so far because I don't think Romcom 2004 is going to be on the album as much as I wish it was because that song rules. Shotgun is very standard Soccer Mommy.
Yeah.
And then Unholy Affliction, this song is... So this upcoming record, I forget what it's going to be called, but it is going to be called Sometimes Forever, is produced by Daniel Lopatin of One Tricks Point Never. And he is not a stranger to doing that. Like he co-produced the new Weekend album, which doesn't have a ton of like weird synth passages or anything. It's like a disco album. But there are points of Unholy Affliction where it sounds like One Tricks Point Never. Like it's bordering on trip hop. It's bordering on just like weird synth shit.
Mm-hmm.
It is a very strange song. I'm very into it, actually. I am curious about where the rest of the record will go, and I'm hoping it is not a Zatoichi situation, where artist drops completely insane single that nothing else on the album really sounds like.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know what it is about Soccer Mommy, but nothing sells me on her. So maybe seeing the album in full will make me like her more.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was neat. Very strange. I thought that towards the end it meandered a little bit.
Yeah, it's a little meandery. I'll agree with that.
And I was like, okay, get a little focused.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, get your head in the game, girl.
Get your head in the game, soccer.
Yeah, I was about to make a soccer joke. Look at you. Yeah, that's basically all I have to say about it.
Yeah, I'm all right with that.
Next up is Viagra Boys with Ain't No Thief.
This goes hard.
I loved this.
This went really hard.
Yeah.
This doesn't sound like their last album at all.
I said, holy shit, dog, this thumps.
Yeah, why? This is a hard-ass pivot, and I'm totally here for it. If this is the lead single for the album, I'm 100% down for this.
The lyrics are hilarious,
They're
too.
so funny.
They're so funny.
They're always hilarious. But
I didn't steal your grandma. I didn't steal the coat your grandma bought for you. Maybe she bought more. Okay, bitch.
Sports. Wiener dog. Basketball.
This is funny.
Sports.
I like this. And I am excited to hear this next upcoming album.
Yeah, I'm curious where they're going to go.
Yeah, I hope it'll be good. Shout out Viagra Boys.
They are not a band that I would have expected an enormous change in sound from, but like I'm down for it, sure.
Why not?
Even the vocal style is different. Like he's really like he's fucking ranting on this one. Like, he's just going off.
The vocal style is a little bit squiddy.
It's a little squiddy. Yeah. Little madcap.
Which is what I like. I do like that kind of
squiddy.
vocals. Squiddy. All right, next up is fucking DJ Sabrina, the teenage DJ with Call You. This is 8 minutes.
This song is not very good, but I listened to it and I was like, we have to talk about this, right?
It's
like we can't
the most
just
insane samples that I've heard in a while.
It is just it's a house track. Good Lord.
Yeah, right.
DJ Sabrina, the teenage DJ, has like a huge following in like house communities right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like they are blowing the fuck up because they're really prolific. And their stuff is considered to be of very high quality. I'm bad at having opinions on house music.
Me as well.
But I thought it was funny. I thought it was warm and pleasant. If I was in a club or something, maybe I would be bouncing a little bit. I didn't think much of it apart from that, except when Megan Thee Stallion came on the song and went,
the whole song should just in the background. And there's like a fucking Kesha thing, I think.
Yep, Carly Rae Jepsen I heard in there also.
There was one point where they like up-tuned someone's vocals in like the auto-tune so much that they almost sounded like Cupcake. And I was like, whoa.
She could be in there,
She
though.
could
That's
be.
The thing.
That's
like,
the thing.
I would not put anything past this person.
I said it was YouTube Rewind core.
Yeah, it is.
Just like throwing artists together and seeing how it fits. It was funny. I wanted it to be over after a minute and a half.
Yeah,
though.
it's funny. The shtick wears a little thin, but I do appreciate the shtick.
Yeah, and I was like, does this like change at all? And you were like, yeah. And then I was like, oh my god, like the beat drops one element halfway through. Crazy.
Their previous project is 3 hours long, which like it's a house album, but still like that is insane.
Just listen to "Smile You're on Camera" by DJ Bells and Pussy Cumshot instead.
Of course, which you're
is
featured
also
on,
it's
correct?
also 3 hours long.
Oh
and
God!
Yes, I am. I'm featured on the song "Terrorism."
Shout out "Terrorism" by DJ Balls and Pussy Cumshot, featuring our own Megan Atwell.
The brutal opening track, where I give a producer tag.
DJ Sorrow, laughing through the pain.
You are now listening to DJ Balls and Pussy Cumshot. Yeah, shout out my buddy Liam, an artist of a generation.
DJ Sorrow, I regret everything I've done.
He's the pride of Kansas City, Missouri, baby. All right, next up is a beabadoobee with "See You Soon."
That was okay.
Yeah, I said this was kind of slow and kind of tells me what I already thought, which is that I like beabadoobee on things where she's juxtaposed with something harder. Yeah. Like Silver and Terrain.
Yes.
Definitely my favorite presence she's ever had is on that song.
Yeah. If you like beabadoobee in the presence of like harder shit, you should check out Care. I know you haven't, right?
No.
You should listen to Care. She goes surprisingly hard on that one. There are some like punkier songs on that one. I think the song I'm thinking of is called Emo Song. Throw it away. Yeah. It's either Emo Song or Charlie Brown, one of those two. I forget which one. Where it's pretty like atonal. It's cool.
I will check it out.
I've got on this soapbox before, but I think Fake It Flowers is really underrated because people think it's like TikTok music, and it's not. It's really good.
Yeah. All right. Next up, we have Flume with Palaces.
What the fuck?
Horror movie bird song.
Yeah, this
it was weirdly ambient, which I wasn't expecting.
Yeah.
And then you just get kind of bludgeoned with
foghorn blasted
with something
by like a bird sound.
Yeah, that's like weirdly synth tuned.
It is literally like a horror game sound effect.
It is. It's a jump scare.
It's funny because this song has Damon Albarn of Blur and Gorillaz on it, and
he has like zero presence.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Gorillaz are my favorite artists. I'm always looking out for Damon, and I listen to this song and he is nothing of what I care about this song. Yeah. I'm into this song, to be clear. I really like it. But the fact that Damon Albarn is on this song is not the draw of the song at all. I don't know why it had to be him. Could have been anybody.
Yeah. Maybe he just wanted to be on it.
Maybe. They've collabed before, I think. I think he's on Skin. No, he's not. That's sad. I'm wrong. I'm thinking of Beck, who is on Skin. That song's really good.
We have so many Beck CDs in the back.
That Beck is cool.
Like 12.
Not every Beck album is cool.
We have every Beck album.
Wow.
We have far too many Beck albums.
Whoa.
Someone come and steal our Beck albums. I don't want to look at them.
I'm just going to walk out of here with Garrow and nobody's going to be the wiser.
God. Anyway, yeah, this was cool. I
this was
enjoyed
neat.
it.
It makes me curious about the new album because I've liked the first single from this record, which I forget what it's called already, of course. It is called Say Nothing. It's kind of a standard Flume single, but I was into it. And then this, which just came out of nowhere, the song with Kuchka on it is fine. That was whatever. But with Say Nothing and this as singles, I don't know where the fuck this is going. And coming off of the Hi, This Is Flume mixtape, which was also so like you never knew where that was going. I'm very curious to see where he goes with this one. Yeah, I'm psyched for it. I think this one is next episode, I believe.
I like this. I like the bird element, and
it's cool.
I hope he uses a little bit more sound collage in there.
Yeah,
I've been on a huge sound collage kick, so I always love to hear a little bit of influence on that. So I'd like to hear more weird bird noises.
I think Flume would be really good with more like weird sound effect things in there,
especially because all of his album covers are really naturalistic.
Yeah,
like the one for Skin and freaking the new one, Bird.
Yeah. Have you heard the song Fantastic by him?
No.
It's got Dave from Glass Animals on it.
Blech.
I mean, admission time, I do love Glass Animals. I'm not the new one, but How to Be Human Being is still one of my favorite albums ever. That song is like, when you say like you want him to do more weird like sound play, I think about Fantastic because that song is so weird. It's literally like if you took a Flume song and like poured molasses over it. Dave sounds like he's like trying to like push his way through a swamp. The beat is like, have you heard Demon Days Gorillas?
Mm-mm.
You should hear Demon Days Gorillas, 1. 2, it kind of reminds me of like the outro to Every Planet We Reach Is Dead if you gave it lean. It's like that rhythm, but like slurring and like drunken and falling over. It's
Hot on the Presses does not endorse lean usage.
No, I don't endorse lean. I don't
endorse lean.
You know what I meant. But yeah, no, that song's awesome, and it I would love to see more stuff like that and Palaces on this new record.
All right, we will see how it goes.
Also, worth mentioning that this is the title track for the record, maybe that says something. I don't know.
Next up is another Michael with Water Pressure.
Yay, another Michael. Woo!
This is cute but mid.
I love another Michael. This is exactly what I look for in like folk pop. I'm looking for like maximum adorable, catch stickiest hooks, like twangiest guitar tones. This is exactly what I want.
I'm just not a big folk pop person.
Another Michael's fucking New Music and Big Pop was probably my second or third favorite album last year and my most listened to album of last year. This has got me in the mood for more. I'm so ready. We will see. I need this in my life. Heal me.
Next up is Wilma
Vritra. This is Wilma Archer, producer Wilma Archer, and rapper Pyramid Vritra, formerly of Odd Future.
The cover of it is so cute.
It is. It's cool.
So cute. And I liked this a lot. It was a really sweet track.
Yeah.
This probably scratches the itch that another Michael does for you.
This is, I think Vritra has he's very slept on because he was like a minor member of Odd Future, and now he's like doing this kind of thing. He had a record called Bird with Wilma Vritra a couple years ago that was on something, like it was hyped by something, I forget what, and it was like hot for a moment and then just absolutely fell off, and I don't know anybody who cares about it now. But I really like it, and I definitely think he has the potential. He also gets very personal on that one. I definitely think that this new album has a chance of being very good. But I am sad that it will remain underrated because it is so understated and sweet and quiet and reflective and string heavy.
Yeah. It's just sweet. I like it.
Yeah, it's nice. If you want some string-based rap in your life, this will do you. I'm
excited for it. All right. Next up is Arcade Fire with Unconditional 1. Look Out Kid.
Wah, wah.
You didn't like it?
This was an L for me.
Aw.
Which I was sad about because I've never listened to Arcade Fire before their last song, and Everything Now, which that album sucks, but everybody knows that.
Yeah.
And I liked the lightning too. And I was excited, like, oh, maybe this will be the one. No.
I think that it was sweet. It was comforting, and I am excited to see how it fits into the whole album.
Yeah, because it is
a 1.
Oh, it's a 1. Okay.
Well, so this is Lookout 1, so there's going to be a 2. So I'm excited to see how it fits in to everything.
Mm-hmm.
And it is a fairly brief album. It's only 40 minutes. It's like 8 songs long.
Yeah.
So I am excited for it. I haven't really been expecting to like the singles at all. And so I think because my expectations are so low, I've actually been getting quite a bit out of them.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see how this record comes to me.
I am interested also, just because this is such an anticipated release with so much momentum behind it, that like, especially coming off of like the drama with the band. It's not drama. I think Will Butler actually gave like an interview about his brother like the other day or something, that he was like, there's no drama here. But like, it's perceived as drama.
Yeah.
And like, the fact that it's been so long since the last release, and the fact that the last release was not well received, I don't know. I'm interested to see where this will go. This one didn't convince me. I thought it was a little sugary. I thought the lyrics were kind of stupid. Yeah. It's hard for me to say something's really sugary given the kind of shit I listen to on a daily basis. But you know.
You were just talking about Another Michael.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I get it. When I was listening to it, I was like, this could go either way. Like, if this hit me on a different day, I probably wouldn't like it.
Yeah,
I don't know. I was just good for it.
You can be sentimental without being like dumb. Yeah.
All right. The next and last single is Iceage with All the Junk on the Outskirts.
Cool.
Once again, quaint.
Yeah, I'm into this.
Yeah, I'm interested to see where they go from here.
Yeah.
Because Seek Shelter...
Shelter Song was not indicative of that record at all.
No. I did like Shelter Song.
Yeah, I also like Shelter Song, but nothing else on the record really sounds like it.
Yeah. I mean, other than maybe Love Kill Slowly has a little bit of that.
Oh,
like,
yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I love that track, though.
I also love that track. I love Seek Shelter. That album's so good.
Seek Shelter is super underrated, I
think.
is.
In their discog, yeah. It is like... It's kind of like... It almost feels like a stopgap release, almost. Like, because Beyondless was such a different direction for them.
Yeah.
And then Seek Shelter does sound kind of like Beyondless, but also is moving in a new direction. So I could see Seek Shelter as like a transitional album to get to wherever this new one is going, because this song has some Seek Shelter vibes, but it's also kind of just like, I don't want to say sedate, but it's almost like tranquil. Like it feels like it has the intensity has been ratcheted down, and I don't mean that in a bad way.
No. I was thinking about this earlier with the band, because I'm a big Iceage
Yes,
head.
me too.
I love Iceage, and I think that what this kind of tells me, they're not a young band.
No, this is going to be their 6th album, I think, right?
Well, there's New Brigade, You're Nothing, Plowing, Beyondless,
Seek Shelter. This will be 6.
Yeah, this will be 6. Yeah. So I think that, to me, this is showing not that they're like running out of ideas like some people in their like fandom might think, or like they're like, oh, they're like selling out. To me, this is just them maturing.
Yeah,
because they're not saying anything on these songs. Like they're still saying plenty on those, and if anything, they're saying more. If anything, if you've actually listened to like interviews with Elias Ronenfeld, if anything, they're saying things more consciously now, because like back in the day, like when Plowing came out, full disclosure, Plowing's my favorite album by them. I love it dearly, and I'm
a Beyondless head.
Yes, you are. You're theater core.
Yes.
And so when they were interviewed for that, they were like, "Where did you come up with the Lord's favorite? Like, is there like a religious bent to?" He's like, "We thought it sounded cool."
It's like Neon Genesis Evangelion.
Literally, yeah. So there's no point to it. So, but now they're making these decisions way more consciously, and they're saying things that are not, like you were saying, it's not like sedate, it's just tranquil. Like it feels like they're channeling their emotions in a more productive way versus just like being angry.
Yeah, I'm into it.
So I'm happy for them. I think it's cool. And I'm excited to see where they go. I hope there's not another Vendetta on this album. I hate that
Vendetta.
I'm gonna get ya.
I love Vendetta. We have split opinions on that one.
Yeah, that one grew off of me. If that song wasn't there, I think the album would be like great.
I like Vendetta a lot.
I don't. But
Kicks my ass.
Kiss my ass.
I said it kicks my ass.
Oh. He said kiss my ass. I was like, but yeah, that I'm hoping for more reflection because I like the lyrics on this one too.
Yeah, they were cool.
Yeah. The hook was nice. Yeah.
I was into this one. This was probably my favorite of the singles we listened to this week.
Yeah. I think this and Viagra Boys for me were the two.
Yeah, this one and Viagra Boys for sure.
Yeah. So hopefully some strong releases coming.
Yeah.
I don't think that Iceage has hinted towards a
No, I don't think so either. I would be okay with
this
just being a Lucy too.
Yeah.
We have a wild week coming ahead of us. This was because last week was fucking crazy for release. Last 2 weeks. You know what we mean. You're an avid listener.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not, you should be.
Yeah.
But the last 2 weeks were fucking crazy. There was like so much shit that dropped. This was a pretty light week.
Yeah.
We changed our like release lineup like
quite a few times. Yeah.
Because stuff would drop and we just wouldn't care. Like the major releases this week were like, so it was Giz and then Pusha T's It's Almost Dry.
Blah.
Which I will
You had like one track.
It's grown on me a little bit, the record. Mm-hmm. It just feels so like at war with itself.
Yeah.
It's split Kanye Pharrell and the two interests don't even feel like they're from the same album. So it just falls off completely for me. All the tracks are better in isolation than as a full album. It doesn't make any sense as a full album, which is sad because I love Daytona. What else came out this week that we were going to do? The Vices by Wyland. Yeah,
which was sad that I didn't like almost because all my friends were like really stoked about it. It was just it was a nothing burger for me.
We almost did the new album by Let's Eat Grandma, which I listened to and found absolutely bland.
And then there was like Hey ILY.
Hey ILY, which is sad because I really wanted to like that one, but I also found it very bland. Just a lot of like big release. Not that Hey ILY is a big release. That's just something I heard about from a YouTuber a while ago and was like, oh, I should check up on how this band is doing. But just a lot of stuff that I was invested in this week ended up being floppage or just like not podcasting material.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna go back to some Pusha T songs, but like it wasn't
enough.
I don't feel a desire to break it down.
Yeah.
It was a pretty light release week this week, and next episode we're getting Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, whatever the fuck that's gonna be.
Yeah.
Among others, there's like Kendrick is dropping that day. I have to look at the calendar, but there is another like massive release happening on that day.
When's Arcade Fire?
Calendar. I don't remember. Let's find out. Genius 2022 album release calendar, May 2022. Black Star dropped this week.
Black Star?
Yeah. Talib Kweli and Mos Def, Yasin Bey.
I'm not familiar.
Classic 90s, early 2000s. Sorry, not 90s. Early 2000s. Like conscious rap group.
Huh.
Have now reunited for a whole album produced by Madlib.
Oh, okay.
That dropped yesterday. But we aren't going to be getting it because it's a subscription exclusive or something. There'll be a pirate within the week, whatever.
Yeah.
So that happened. Arcade Fire drops this Friday. Belle and Sebastian is this Friday. Ibeyi, maybe we could cover. Rolling Blackouts, Coastal Fever. Sharon Van Etten. Sunflower Bean. So that's this week. And then next week we have Kendrick Lamar, Florence and the Machine, Quelle Chris. The Smile. The Smile is next week.
What is The Smile?
That's 2 out of the 4. It's a Radiohead side project.
Oh.
Yeah. I haven't heard any of it so far. I've completely avoided listening to it. Yeah, The Smile is the other big one. It's Kendrick and Tom York are going to be arm wrestling with each other. Also like Kelly 47, which
2 artists I have complicated relationships with.
I guess we'll see exactly how complicated they are next week.
I guess we will.
All right. I think that's going to do us for this week then.
That will, in fact, take us out.
You can follow us on Twitter at PressesCast. You can subscribe to SCAD Radio on YouTube. Also follow them on SoundCloud. You can follow our podcast on Spotify. We will have a giant fucking doorstopper of a playlist linked below this YouTube video in the Spotify description on SoundCloud.
Yep.
I do a radio show called Keeping It Clean with DJ Soap every Wednesday at 5.
Mm-hmm. I do a radio show called Mood Ring with DJ Megan at 9 to 11 p.m. on Thursdays. You can follow me on Instagram at megan.atwell to see when I'm going live. I post copious amounts of pre-warning for that. I do cope. I cope and I seethe.
And you mauled?
And I mauled, yeah. You can see a little bit more of my content on the website. I do interviews with bands. I'm going to be uploading one pretty soon, and I'm going to be uploading an interview segment for the Chalk Festival from SCAD.
Wahoo! I'm in that one.
Yes, you are.
I'm in that one.
Yes, you are.
I followed you around at the Chalk Festival and passed out buttons. It was great.
Yeah. I mention you as being my DM friend, and then I film you for B-roll where you show me a button enthusiastically.
Yeah, that's me. I'm the DM friend.
Mm-hmm.
I dungeon and I dragon.
I do neither.
Sucks to be you, I guess.
Yeah.
You should get on that.
I know. I just don't have time.
Yeah.
And I don't have a campaign.
Yeah.
Sag.
D&D is one of the things causing me to have no time.
All right. That'll be us.
Yeah, that's us for this time. This was a quietly solid week. I'll definitely be coming back to for sure at least Bob Vylan and gutter punk from this week, and dialect
definitely.
too.
I didn't expect to get as much out of this week as I did. So that's cool.
Yeah.
So thank you for being here. This has been Hot on the Presses.
We're still hot.
And we're still on the presses.
See y'all later.
See you later.